everybody. Good Saturday evening to you. It is a perfect night for high school football in Missouri City, Texas. This is Vype FortBend.com coverage of Fort Bend ISD football, the season finale between the Bush Broncos and the Clements Rangers, two teams that are bound for the playoffs, but both want to win tonight because we're pretty sure the winner of this game will not have to play the Katy Tigers, ranked number 2 in the state in Class 6A. I'm Roger Smith. He's James Kovaleski. Welcome in, James.
No, happy to be here, Roger. I mean, we had a thrilling game that we covered last Saturday night between George Ranch and Clements, and it was a really cool outpouring of support. We kind of speculated that I said, I bet you Derek Carr sends a personalized message to starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders, and sure enough, he did it. It was early on in the week, maybe on Tuesday I saw that. So Derek Carr, personalized message. Rashawn Slater, the first-round draft pick for the number 1 draft pick for the Chargers, Northwestern grad, gave a message as well. He talked about how in his 4 years at Clements, they won 4 games. And now for Clements to be sitting, it's 6 wins and going to the playoffs for the first time since Derek Carr last did it my first year coaching. So it shows how long it's been. I think everybody's just really excited. Yeah,
it seems like when Rashawn Slater was a Clements Ranger and Derek Carr was a Clements Ranger, that seems like a century ago, but it was this century. And we've got documentation to prove it. You got pay stubs to prove it. So we will come at you with the Countdown to Kickoff show. It is full of coaching visits, coach speak information, and we're also going to bring you trash-talking cheerleaders, one of the best ideas that we have ever come up with. We will step aside real quickly and come back with our Countdown to Kickoff show. VypeFortBend.com broadcasts of Fort Bend County High School sports are brought to you by Xfinity, the future of awesome. By First Tire and Automotive, 4 great locations in Fort Bend County, all of them open Monday through Saturday for the best prices on tires. Go to firsttireandauto.com. By Nick's Italian Restaurant on FM 1464 in Sugar Land, just a few hundred feet north of Austin High School. At Nick's Italian Restaurant, their family gets bigger every time you stop by. By Archer Volkswagen on the southbound side of Highway 59, just inside the Sam Houston Tollway, open since 1956 and ready to serve you. You'll feel like family at Archer Volkswagen. And by the Needville Insurance Agency, Bradley Stavanaugh and his team are your hometown trusted agents. You can call the Needville Insurance Agency at 979-793-7411 or visit needvilleinsurance.com. They will get you the best rate on your home and car insurance. We'll be right back with our visit with Alan Aldridge, head coach of the Bush Broncos, when we continue on VypeFortBend.com.
Good things in life, like you work hard, so you deserve the good things in life, like getting an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Get the fast and reliable internet you deserve for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for the first time ever, ask how to get 12 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile. Just imagine, faster downloads, more streaming, the possibilities are endless. That's more speed and you'll save hundreds over AT&T. Oh yeah, and for a limited time, ask how to get $300 back. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now, because you deserve awesome internet. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 11/21/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect Internet 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Compares monthly service charge for Xfinity 600 megabits per second to AT&T 500 megabits per second each with 1 unlimited mobile line per year as of 10/6/21. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of mobile usage.
We're the Bush cheerleaders, and the Broncos will put an end to the Clements Cinderella story tonight. We'll get the job done before midnight, which reminds us, don't forget to set your clocks back tonight. Coach Aldridge is next on VypeFortBend.com. Go Broncos!
First Tire and Automotive heard you were thinking of starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $15 off oil changes, $100 off 4 tires, and save on just about any service. Head to the website firsttireandauto.com and claim your savings. First Tire and Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
Welcome to the final Saturday night regular season countdown to kickoff show of 2021 on VypeFortBend.com, and the Bush Broncos are taking on Clements. And for Bush, we're with Coach Alan Aldridge. The situation is pretty simple, right? You need to win this game to secure the playoff spot. Is that correct?
I think so. Yes. With the loss from George Ranch, that kind of made it interesting. I think we're in. I didn't really look at it because I didn't want to distract us from today. But ultimately, our plan is to win the game, definitely.
Well, I feel a little bit better just knowing that you are the head coach of Bush, and you're not really sure, and I'm not really sure either. I was thinking it is possible that if you lose this game, maybe George Ranch gets in because they did defeat you head-to-head, but I'm really not sure. I just know that you want to win this game no matter what because it's going to be the right way to finish the regular season.
Exactly. We didn't even talk to the kids about it when George Ranch lost last night, so we're not even thinking about that. We're thinking about winning this football game and going into the playoffs with a good taste in our mouth.
So you might go on to send a thank you card maybe to the Dulles Vikings, perhaps?
Yes, I will.
All right, so I know that it hasn't been going your way the last couple of weeks. However, you have a lot to play for and you have a lot going for you on both sides of the football. So what are the things that you told the team this week just to make sure that they are still locked in and doing everything that they have done before the last couple of weeks?
We just maintain everything we've talked about the whole season, just being positive and staying consistent in what we do and improving every week. So I think we made some improvements in some areas against Ridgepoint, but it wasn't where we obviously needed to be. We took a step back in some areas also. But I think the kids, we had a really, really good week of practice. They came out, they paid attention, they were motivated, practiced really hard. So hopefully it'll have a good turnout today.
And by the way, I hope you don't mind me asking about this. It's kind of just a little funny story to tell. You know, we've looked at how certain players on your team, including the sophomore Aaron Valentine, have had different numbers, and evidently those big metal dryers can get a little bit too hot for those jerseys that have, the plastic numbers on the front. Is that what happened?
Yes, two were stuck at the top of the dryer. Another two were misplaced. But everybody has their number back. We got them all corrected and fixed, so we're back to 100%.
I know 3 is not a huge number, but we lost a lot of good jerseys in there.
We did.
All right, well, it's always fun to talk to you, and I like your laugh. I wish I had a really good laugh like yours.
Well, I've worked on it for a while, so.
Yeah, maybe if you ever decide that you don't want to coach football anymore, you could be the guy that introduces the late night talk show host, and every time he tells a joke, you just laugh. It made big bucks for Ed McMahon. You remember him, right?
I do remember Ed McMahon. I really do. That's telling my age a little bit, but I do.
Yeah, I miss old Johnny Carson. He was really something, and you're really something, Coach Aldridge. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me. Go Broncos.
And the countdown to kickoff show continues on VypeFortBend.com. Glad you are with us for the finale of the regular season, Bush and Clements. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Mariela and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Hi, we're the Clements cheerleaders. Hey Broncos, we're setting you up with a date for next Friday night with someone named Katie. Katie's just not the Rangers type, but we know Katie will be perfect for you. Or maybe our friend George if it doesn't work out. Coach Darnell is next on the Countdown to Kickoff show. Let's ride, Rangers! Woo!
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
All right, welcome to the Vype countdown to kickoff. James Kovalevsky here with Bobby Darnell. Coach, last week's victory over George Ranch was amazing. Just an outpouring of support followed the likes of Derek Carr, Sean Slater. I mean, it was really cool this week. Can you kind of just describe what the feeling on campus was after that big win?
It was electric. It was electric throughout the whole building. Teachers being nice to our kids and saying great things to them and good luck and congratulations to all the coaches, to myself. It just really just puts out in the forefront exactly what we want. And just hard work pays off, and you just got to persevere and you never quit.
Coach, for our fans that tune in every week, they know that last week I got a little choked up around halftime. You guys got a big pick six from Patrick Smith, and one of your senior captains, Ferris Rafai, I believe, got a block in the back penalty. I always watch the sidelines after things like that. I saw you promptly shoo his butt out, as you well should. But the thing that stood out to me, Coach, was he looked you in the eye, he never took his helmet off. He took the butt chewing, and both of you guys sprinted into the locker room for halftime. And at that moment, I kind of knew, wow, they're going to win this game. For the first time, I knew Clements was going to win that game. I said, Coach Darnell has established what he's trying to build, where you guys trust and love each other so much. You can coach these kids hard, and they're going to just say yes, sir, and come right back. So can you kind of describe that a little bit, that moment, and just where you're at with your program right now?
Absolutely, and that's the forefront of it all. It's family, it's love, and that's the start. Then you get to passion, and passion is what we all are trying to do. We're out here. I told them it takes 355 days of the year to get ready for 10 opportunities. And so when you look at it like that, there's so much preparation that goes into this. We want the best for them. So when you make a mistake, you got to be corrected. And I told him, you want to be a Division I player, then I'm going to coach you like a Division I player. So I got all over him. But, thankfully for him, not to correct you, but he is only a junior, so he'll be back next year.
Okay. Yeah.
And he'll be the leader of that defense. So as much more as we can get him going and taking those baby steps and taking the reins from Matt McGinnis, we're going to be in a great shape next year.
And it was cool to see on Twitter that he did receive Defensive Player of the Week. So he definitely atoned for that mistake. Now, as great as last week was, I know the Bush Broncos, they're not worried about the feel-good story. They're here to play football tonight, and you got a tough task. So just whenever you broke down the film about Bush, what was it that stood out to you, Coach?
It's like how they are every year and how they've been for, over a decade. Very athletic kids that look great, have great bodies, and they just play hard. So, you let Coach Thornton over there, the defensive coordinator, just sick his defense on you, and it's going to be some trouble for us. Offensively, they've found a great ball carrier in Adrian Cromier. So, he's a dude, and then obviously Seven, Tyler does a good job as far as running the show. So, they're always a well-coached team. Coach Aldridge is the man. I love him to death. And they have my utmost respect, especially being able to start there at Bush High School my first 4 years. But we feel like it's our year.
All right, Coach, it's senior night. Best of luck to you. All right. We'll see you soon, Coach. All right. That was Bobby Darnell, head football coach of the Clements Rangers, as he prepares to welcome his senior parents onto the field for senior night. Kickoff is right around the corner here on Vype Fort Bend.
You are the master of the multi.
And we mean everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max.
Taking care of business.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
Listen to it right here in the stadium. Plus, you can listen to it later on the podcast, absolutely free, at VypeForPin.com. Next week, VypeForPin.com, it's first-round playoff action plus third-round volleyball matchups. My broadcasts are brought to you by Xfinity, Nick's Italian Restaurant, Archer Volkswagen, First Fire Automotive, the Needville Insurance Agency, and Office Depot on Williams Trace. VypeForPin.com, your broadcast home for Fort Bend County Sports.
All right, Roger Smith and James Kovaleski with you as the captains come to the center of the field and let everybody know who's going to get the football first. And James, you had seen Clements for the first time last week, and they had some elements that they had never had before in the time that you'd been able to observe them since you were working with Bobby Darnell. And one of the things that really stands out is they have some guys in the secondary who can chase down the fastest guy on the other team and prevent those long touchdowns from going up and down the field.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the big things is I knew Patrick Smith was good. I mean, I've seen him past couple years, freshman, sophomore, and he's just even a lot better. Like his development as a senior, especially as a receiver, I was just so impressed at how he goes up to get the ball. Like he does it better than really anyone I've seen this season. All the games I've watched, he is the best at going up to get a football. And then on the defensive side, that's what he's been doing. And I was talking to offensive coordinator Derek Ruthart before the game, and he's like, "Yeah, I really wanted to have Patrick last year on offense, but we needed him on defense at that time. And now we're to the point where we have more depth, and so we can allow Patrick to kind of, because we're better at other spots, like we can use him in spot duty on offense and defense and get to play him on both sides." And so that's really impressive. And really, it's not any kind of schematic thing. I mean, Clements has been coaching well the past several years, but the players are better now, and that's a testament, I think, to the assistant coaches and Coach Darnell that investing in the offseason, and Coach Haddock and Coach Ruthart, the track team. Like, they're more athletic than they've ever been. That makes all the difference.
That we've seen, it's a trend in nearly every game. Coaches usually defer if they win the coin toss, but tonight Clements won the coin toss and they didn't defer. They elected to receive, and they will be defending the south goal here at Hall Stadium and going from right to left. And they even have guys, and Patrick Smith is not the only one, who can run a kickoff back all the way. But on the other hand, Bush is usually pretty good with their kickoff coverage. So you've got Demas Kasuma, who is on the field tonight and was not there last week for the big win over George Ranch because he was busy competing in UIL music competitions. So he's back there with Patrick Smith, and they're the only two ones that are inside the 20-yard line. Here's the kickoff from Aiden Jensen. The game is underway, and it'll be Demas Kasuma from the 7-yard line. Drops it, picks it up, goes to the left hash marks, continuing to weave his way forward across the 30, keeps going, 35, and all the way out to the 38-yard line. A great start, brought down from behind by Alexander Morris, and the Rangers will start their offensive portion of the game in good field position at the 38.
Yeah, big block by Zachary Mandible, the senior wide receiver. He's got a big club on his hand. It looks like Mega Man. But he got a big block to start. I saw him get a nice block, and at the end he pancaked the kicker. Now, as far as I talked about Clements, much bigger, faster, stronger than I've ever seen them, but I would still give the size, strength advantage, speed advantage to Bush tonight, but it's definitely much narrower than before. But Bush is going to play this man-to-man coverage, so it's going to be up to Clements to see how they can make Bush pay for playing so much man-to-man.
Bush's style is to beat you up. Play fake to Kasuma. Gunnar Chenier throws off the hands of Patrick Smith, who juggles it and makes the catch at the 45. He was hit as he went out of bounds by Paul Omodia. And by the way, Paul Omodia, number 22 for Bush, told me something. He said I made him look bad last week when they were playing the game against Ridgepoint. He said something about Marvin Session making a catch on him, and I said, well, I just say what I see, and Marvin Session has made a lot of people look bad. That was a 7-yard pickup.
He might have been talking about me.
you know he may be right. And there is a quick pass to Joey Mongonia over the outside shoulder on the near sideline just beyond his reach. And by the way, Joey's mom came up and said, thank you for saying my son's name correctly. And I said, no problem. We just asked Coach Darnell, who is one of those coaches. Oh, we got a penalty up. It's a free play for Clements because Bush jumped offside, someone on the right side of the defensive line. So that makes it first down at the 50. Anyway, Ms. Mongonia was happy that I said Joey's name correctly, and hopefully Joey will catch a pass or two. I thought he was 6'6". Mom says he's 6'5". And a pretty tall customer himself, Gunnar Chenier, hands it off to Dimas Kasuma. He's hit in the backfield, and all he can do is get back to the line of scrimmage. Brandon Chambers shot through and slowed him down, and the tackle was finished off by Devin Moore.
Yeah, it's really cool to know that people are listening, and Coach Darnell and Coach Haddock, the offensive coordinator, or defensive coordinator, both reached out to me and said that it was a great broadcast last week. So that's definitely fulfilling for us. And, on that play, I remember actually thinking that Omodia had great coverage, but it was a perfectly thrown ball, really. I think I remember saying that could have been maybe potentially on You Got Mossed, and maybe that was what he was talking about.
Yeah, maybe he should talk to you.
Yeah.
There's a quick pass into the flat, and it's complete to Patrick Smith, but he's ushered out of bounds immediately, and it's only a gain of 1. Henry Tatum made the tackle for Bush. He's been making a lot of plays, even last week against Ridgepoint, even though they lost big. Henry Tatum was all over the place.
Yeah, so whenever you get to play this man-to-man, the advantage is it's going to allow you to put another body in the box. And so I think it's going to be difficult for Clements to run the football. And so that's why I was asking the coaches before the game if they had some things in place. And yes, what you're going to see, and you've already kind of seen in the first play to Patrick Smith, a lot of tight formations where they can use what offense is called rub routes, what defense is called pick routes.
Kasuma goes in motion, and they swing it out to the left. He's got it outside the numbers. Good yardage, but a flag is down on the play. He's sandwiched and knocked out of bounds. Chandler Davis and Ty Bickham will check on the flag.
Probably offsides again. See, Bush likes to play that press bump and run coverage where they're right in your face, and so a lot of times they line up offside. So they're going to have to back up a little bit, which will help Clements. But there's another example. Yeah, there's the offsides. But what Clements is doing, they're using a lot of what we call man beaters. So a lot of those you're going to see, like I said, an offense will call it a rub route, a defense will call it a pick route, but you get guys close together and you have them cross and see if you can pick the defenders and get them open. You saw also crossing routes are good versus man. You saw Patrick Smith do that. And then motion out of the backfield. A lot of times in man-to-man coverage, it's lost in translation who has the back. And that's what happened right there. They took the running back out in route and got him wide open.
And, he really was wide open. Nobody really followed Kasuma as he came in motion. Uh-oh. Joey Mongonia, you jumped off sides for Clements. He thought the snap was going to happen earlier, and he started sprinting downfield. So instead of 1st and 10 at the 34 of Bush, it's now 1st and 15 from the Broncos' 39. Gabriel Mosier is one of the slot receivers on the left side. So is Kasuma and Mongonia. And there are 2 receivers over on the right side, Patrick Smith and Marcus Darnell. Empty backfield. Chenier looks right, throws, and a little miscommunication. I think he was expecting Patrick Smith to slant about 45 degrees in, and Patrick kept going up the field, and the ball was thrown behind him.
Yeah, so those are read routes there where they're looking at the depth of the defender. And so if the defender gives you a lot of cushion, I think that Gunnar thought that Patrick was going to kind of hook up, like he said, in a shorter route, but Gunnar went deep with it. So the reason why Clements is going to the pass so early is because Bush is kind of forcing their hand a little bit with that toughness up front.
Same formation as the play before. 2nd down and 15 for Gunnar Chenier, the sophomore quarterback who was pressed into service 3 weeks ago because Micah Darnell has a broken collarbone. Now he throws it down the far sideline. He's got a man open. That was Marcus Darnell, but it was just too far.
Yeah, good play call there. There's your other rub route. Okay, so they had Patrick and Marcus cross each other. Marcus running the wheel route, and so that comes open, especially Bush trying to get so up in people's faces. It's kind of easy to pick them, and that's what they're able to do there, a little rub action. Chenier just needs to hit it, but that was wide open.
Marcus had a long way to run down the field, but he's back in position now. Kasuma moves into the backfield along with Mosier. I don't think they're going to run it on 3rd and 15, but I could be wrong. Play fake. There's a play fake and then a pass to Kasuma, but he's wrapped up in the backfield. Actually, it wasn't in the backfield. It was near the line of scrimmage. A gain of about 3. Isaac Bouye made the tackle. And do you think they're going to go for it? It's kind of no man's land.
I would punt it. I really, like I said, I told Coach Haddock how impressed I was with his defense. I'd like to try to pin him here and let the defense go to work. So for me, I would either punt or, like we've seen several times, line up and spread, have Chenier do the quick kick. But just because it's kind of far, it's a 4th and 14. But we'll see. They're set up as if they're going to go for it.
And Bush isn't sending anyone back. Chenier is going to throw it. Steps up. Here comes the rush, and he's sacked. Devin Moore comes through and knocks him down, and that didn't work out very well. So now will be up to the Clements defense to kind of pick up the offense, because when you let the other team start at the 45, that's not the best.
It almost looked to me like the defensive end of the bottom was offsides. He got a little bit of a jump start, but I guess he was good. What you saw Clements doing, and I know you can't see it because it's radio, but they're doing a lot of motioning all over the place. That's to try to take advantage of that man-to-man and make those defenders, carry and chase all over the field with the motion.
Tyler Hilder in the backfield with 2 running backs, one on either side of him, takes the snap and gives it off. And a run over the right side is going to go for big yardage. Near sideline, 35-30, 25-20, and inside the 10. Where are they going to mark him? That's Adrian Cormier, who's been carrying the load in the Bush running game, and they mark him at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal from right there, a 50-yard run on the very first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, it looks like the ball got in the alley. Safety's got to be there to make a play. I didn't see exactly where he went, but also the inside linebackers are unable to get over the top there. I think they're amped up and they're trying to stuff the run on the first play, and they kind of got caught in the trash on that outside run play.
2 weeks ago, Bush lost to George Ranch. I don't think they want to fritter away an opportunity to win this time. There goes Cormier up the middle, slamming off tacklers, gets to the 1, and Clements pushes him back from there. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. On the tackle was Gaia Tim of the Rangers, and one of the Rangers is down. While they tend to the injured player, we'll step aside and be back. It's VypeFortBend.com. No score between Bush and Clements.
You work hard, so you deserve the good things in life, like getting an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there's never been a better time to switch.
Stand by. We will get our commercial player back here in just a moment. Well, we'll keep it right here because, as you can tell from the applause, the injured player, Ferris Rafai, the junior linebacker, is coming off the field. Looks like he's going to be okay, and I don't think there's any way in the world you can keep him out of this ball game. So it is 2nd and goal from the 1. Hilder taking his time, looking at the defense. They have a wide receiver on either side and a tight end on the right. And the referee, Derek Dickerson, whistles, and it's ready for play. And Cormier fumbles. The ball is loose, picked up by Patrick Smith in the end zone. He'll down it right there, and the Rangers come up with a break. They strip the ball out of Adrian Cormier's arms, and they deny the Broncos a sure touchdown.
Incredible. Looks like they're all celebrating with Matt McGinnis there. I guess McGinnis stripped it out. I was going to say, Roger, we've seen at least a couple games I've seen from Bush, like they'll be getting momentum and then like a bad snap will happen or something bad will happen. And I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to jinx them. And sure enough, they're knocking on the goal line and they fumble it away.
Well, maybe I jinxed them because I was talking about the George Ranch game. I didn't really mention it specifically. but they were leading 7-0 at halftime of that game, and then they threw a pick six, and they snapped a ball back to their own 2 that was recovered by George Ranch. And that's the kind of huge mistake that can really fuel the other team. Give to Kasuma, started up the middle, then cuts to his left. Good yardage, breaks a tackle or 2, and he gains 8 yards all the way to the 28-yard line. Wrestled out of bounds by Chandler Davis. You know, in the narration of the Super Bowl III highlight film, that's where Joe Namath and the Jets upset the Colts, and John Facenda, whose voice sounded like the Almighty God, you know, he said in that narration that one of the things that can change a football game more than anything else is the denial of a sure touchdown, and we just saw that. 2nd down and 2, Chenier, play action pass, dropping back, deep down the middle for Mongonia, and it's incomplete. He was tripped up a little bit, but I think the ball was beyond his reach anyway. Paul Omodia on the defense, and you know, Paul Omodia and his brother Michael, who plays offense and wears number 14, that's our Nick's Italian Restaurant family connection. Nick's Italian Restaurant in Sugar Land on FM 1464. It's just a few hundred feet north of Austin High School. And at Nick's Italian Restaurant, their family gets bigger every time you stop by. 3rd down and 2. Out of the spread, Chenier with a little shovel pass inside, and Bush is there to smother it. It goes absolutely nowhere as Cozy Okorafor was all over J.R. Morellis. First touch of the football for J.R. It goes for a loss of 4 yards, and it's punting time.
Yeah, biggest advantage point I'm seeing right now is Bush D-line versus the O-line for Clements. They're getting a ton of push, and they try to run a little shovel pass underneath that you see like the Chiefs run around the goal line a lot. Bush had so much penetration it was blown up.
Timothy Kroon punts it away. It's kind of end over end. D'Antonio Hackworth picks it up on the 3rd bounce, and he fumbles it. He does pick it up, however. Now he's going at the 45-50, far sideline, and wrestled down right beyond the midfield stripe. Demas Kasuma coming up with the very slippery and evasive D'Antonio Hackworth.
And I want to point out, Roger, you made a great point that in years past, Clements had given up so many 60, 70, 80-yard touchdown runs because of a lack of speed. That was Patrick Smith that saved that touchdown on the first play. His speed, most years in past, that would have been a touchdown for Bush. But Smith saved it, and sure enough, they're able to get a stop because of that. Again, right there, Kasuma. That play in years past would have gone for a punt return touchdown. But Kasuma has the speed to come down there and trip up Hackworth. So that's the difference. It's allowing Clements to stay in these games.
That is fantastic. So Bush does get it back. They get the 3 and out after they fumbled it away inside the 5, and now they give it to Cormier again. He bounces outside. Hardly touched until he gets down the field about 6 yards. And he goes down there. It's a pickup of 7 yards, and coming up out of the secondary to bring him down was Andrew Bohovich.
Yeah, biggest thing I'm seeing right now is they're running off tackle. You got your defensive end who's kind of inside of the tackle right now in what we call like the B gap. And so you need a linebacker to be able to come over the top. And right now they're just a little bit shaky and getting over the top. So that's how you're getting that running lane for the 6-yard gain there.
Matt McGinnis is the senior linebacker. He's basically almost lined up straight over the football, but about 4 yards back. And now Rafai threatens a blitz. There's Cormier straight up the middle, and he gets within 1 yard of the first down. He gets to the 41, and the Broncos will have a 3rd and short coming.
Yeah, I was going to say, whenever you have linebackers getting caught up on the inside too much, the best thing to do is back them up a little bit. And I saw right there, I was seeing like Matt McGinnis was at good depth, and he did a good job just finding his way, just sifting through the trash and making the tackle. He did. Coach Haddock did blitz Rafai, which we saw that last week against George Ranch. I kind of noticed, like, wow, Clements being aggressive. They're taking the fight to the George Ranch offense. You saw that a little bit there with the Rafai blitz.
3rd and less than 1. Pistol formation. Cormier behind Tyler Hilder. Looks like he might have been trying to get Clements to jump, but the Rangers hold their positions. Straight up the middle, Cormier. He's tripped up, but he gets the first down. He gained 2 on the tackle. Weza Pereira. By the way, It seems like every game is senior night for one or both of the schools, and it's senior night for Clements. And Cormier is down?
Yeah, I think it looked to me like you said tripped, and you weren't kidding. I mean, it literally looked like I think I saw a leg come out and literally trip him. And I think he took a hard shot to the shin there. which is very painful. But he's all right. He got up. It looks to me like early on here, Clements is playing what we call 44 defense. So both defensive ends are inside of the offensive tackles. So it shows me Coach Haddock wants to stop the inside run, but they're starting to get a little bit of success off tackle now. So it'll be curious to see if the linebackers can make the adjustment or if Coach tries a different front.
So Cormier looks like he'll come right back after one play out, but the running backs now, Donovan Nixon is one of them. Can't really see who the other one is. 1st and 10 from the 38 of the Clements Rangers. No score. 5:02 to go in quarter number 1, and they just blow the whistle to say start the clock. There's a pass to Jamon Cooley, a hitch screen on the left side. Had to leap up to catch it and finds about a 4-yard gain. 2nd down and 6. Ferris Rafai goes out there to make the tackle on him. Coming up will be the 5th play of the drive. Bush ended up losing by 28 to Ridge Point last week, but the game was really closer, at least in the second half it was, than it was in the first half. You know, Ridge Point was up 21-0, but then Bush stayed even for most of the second half as far as if the game had been 0-0. Tyler Hilder on a quarterback draw goes forward, only a 2-yard pickup. Interior line, Tosan Okopi of the Clements Rangers made the stop, and it's 3rd and 4. Make it 3rd and 5.
Coach Francis, the defensive assistant who signals in the plays, he's got some pretty cool signals. He's kind of like dancing out there while he's signaling in the plays. Even one of the players is kind of mocking him a little bit.
It is going to get cooler tonight.
Yeah.
You know, he might want to stay warm by moving around a little bit. Looks like a blitz from Clements, and there's the give to Cormier. He busts through. He gets the first down and keeps going inside the need that he exceeded. He gets it to the 26 when he needed to get to the 28. That's a first down.
I like the aggressiveness. You know, that was a blitz off both edges, but it just got to be careful. If it gets picked up, you know, it could house real quickly.
Yeah.
You know, so
the next thing you know, he's gone. Can the Clements defense reach into their bag of tricks and come up with a turnover? Bush is on the threshold of the end zone right here. Well, maybe not the threshold. They're on the front walk. They're on the curb, you know, outside the house. Hilder is going to throw it, but no, he's not. I shouldn't have said that. A whistle was blowing, and it looks like a pre-snap penalty that'll back Bush up. Derek Dickerson is our referee. He and his crew will back up Bush with the penalty yardage, 5 yards. Back to the 31 of Clements. It's 1st and 15 from right there. How cold do you think it is, Michigan man?
Doesn't feel too bad to me. Is it in the low 60s? 65?
Well, I know it's very, very nice. Tell you after this play. 1st down and 15 from the Clements 31. Hilder drops back, looks to his left, slings it, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Omodia. The pass was thrown high. Patrick Smith kind of went up with one hand to try and Beckham the football.
Yeah.
And I think as Omodia came by, his shoulder or his helmet hit Patrick in the ribs. He's going to be okay, but that doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it looks to me like Clements is playing cover 1, which is man-to-man coverage underneath with just Patrick Smith in the middle playing center field, which is a pretty good defense to be in. But that allows them to blitz. So I saw a blitz there where Coach sent the outside backers kind of looping inside. So Coach Haddock definitely being aggressive here early on in the first quarter against Bush.
We'll see if he's aggressive again. It's 2nd and 15. Hilder drops back, now throws, and looking toward the end zone, but he overshot his man, Jamon Cooley. Running step for step with him was Clements Weza Pereira.
Yeah, that's the cool thing is, you know, we've known for years it's Bush's MO to play man-to-man coverage all over the field. The kind of cool thing is watching Clements play man-to-man coverage against Bush, and that just goes to show you how they've really just developed their roster. You know, they have guys that can run in man-to-man coverage now, and it's really cool to see. I know that gives Coach Haddock more bullets, so to speak, in his chamber as far as different things he can throw out there. So big 3rd down here, 3rd and long.
Surely Bush is going to throw the football again, and
it's man-to-man.
Man-to-man, okay. Hilder drops back, throws over the middle, and it's too high for Amodia. Incomplete. On the coverage, Bryce Matthews. And I don't really know about Bush's kicking game, but even if you have a really good kicker, I don't think you're going to try it from
48
here.
48-yarder.
Yeah, 48. And there is no wind, but I was talking about the temperature. I forgot to tell you what it is. It is 66 degrees.
I said 65. They're not bad.
Yes.
There we go.
Horseshoes, hand grenades, and guessing the temperature. If you're within 1 degree, you're effectively right. 4th and 15 for the Broncos. This the 10th play of the drive that started at the 50. Late blitz by Rafai. Throw down the far sideline and another incomplete pass. Hilder is just not in precise coordination with his receivers. Michael Amodia, the intended target, and the ball goes over. So the Clements defense did come up with a turnover on downs.
And I think that Clements, that's exactly what Coach Darnell probably wants. Bush is trying to beat them through the air. To me, the most effective thing I've seen is Bush running off tackle. If I'm on the headset talking to Coach Aldridge, in between series here, I'm telling Bush, like, let's try off tackle again. I think that's where they've had some success. So I would not be surprised to see Bush go back to the ground game on their next attempt.
And what do you think here? Maybe Clements? Might they throw deep again?
Yes, I'm expecting passing from Clements.
Kasuma in the pistol behind Chenier. They give it to Kasuma straight up the middle. He's got yardage. He bobbles the ball and somehow maintains control. And it's a 10-yard gain for little Demas Kasuma.
That right there is really encouraging because early on it felt like Bush is kind of controlling the line of scrimmage and that Clements might be forced to go to the pass. But, man, they're starting – I think Bush is getting a little bit over-aggressive, getting up the field a little bit, so it is creating little creases where, a shifty running back like Kasuma or J.R. Morellis can find these holes. And running game is picking up here, so that's great for Coach Darnell and his staff and Coach Ruthart, the offensive coordinator, to give him more options.
Again, the pistol. Give to Kasuma a slow developing play. He still gets positive yardage, about 3 yards, and that's enough for the first down after he picked up 8 on the previous play. 3 more, moves the sticks. It's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. The First Colony location is on Lexington, and it's just on, the north side of Highway 6. Although Highway 6 mainly runs north and south, but it's the side of Highway 6 that's not where Mercer Stadium is. Other side. They keep feeding the little dog, and it's Demas Kasuma tripped in the backfield by Brandon Chambers, but he does have forward momentum to pick up about 2.
That's my only thing about continuing to pound the rock against Bush is that they're so good at getting those run-throughs. That was number 44, Brandon Chambers on a little inside linebacker fire, blitz, and that's the hard part. Now it gets you off schedule. The play before that, they ran my favorite run play against an aggressive defense, the counter, and I think we might see more of that as well here from Clements.
Morellis in motion, and it's a toss sweep. Coming left is Kasuma, cuts it up, gets across the 45 to the 46. Brandon Chambers makes another tackle. But I think he might have maybe gotten a foot in a sensitive area right there. He does get up, but it's 3rd down and 7 to go.
I think they'll pass here. I think you're going to see like a tight formation. I think they'll probably go to the quarter. It was only 12 seconds ago. But I think when we come back, I think you're going to see Clements kind of in a bunch set with their receivers and try to see if they can get those rub routes or crossing routes and get somebody open.
All right, we've played 1 quarter. Bush has threatened but has not scored. Nobody has scored. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
First Iron Automotive heard you were thinking of starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $15 off oil changes, $100 off 4 tires, and save on just about any service. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, OfficeMax, and OfficeDepot.com.
Here we go, second quarter. Rangers with a 3rd down and 7 from their own 45. Chenier sends Kusuma in motion, drops straight back, good protection, fires it short to Patrick Smith. He's hit just a yard beyond the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be time for Clements to punt again. Excellent coverage by Chandler Davis, because Patrick Smith is not an easy guy to cover.
Yeah, just a very short route, about 1 yard deep. I mean, really, I don't know if it was the pressure that forced Chenier to throw it so early, but you want to allow that to kind of keep crossing so you can get past all the defense there. But yeah, not going to be close to a first down there on the completion to Patrick Smith.
D'Antonio Hackworth goes deep to receive the punt. This will be his second opportunity to return a Clements punt. Timothy Kroon ready to boot it away. The line of scrimmage is the 47. A little bit of a high snap, but he does get the punt away and punts it away from Hackworth toward the near sideline. It bounces to Hackworth, and here he comes across the 35. Now he's going to the middle of the field, 40. Illegal block in the back. A flag is down. I totally trust my buddy James Kovaleski to be
flag,
correct.
No flag, but there was a block in the back.
Okay, well, see, I shouldn't have assumed. But it's a nice punt return to the 46-yard line. So the net, if you take the punt and the return, all Clements got out of that was 7 yards.
Yeah, not a great snap, not a great punt. So that's something to consider going forward. I mean, maybe in some situations you may see some 4th down attempts tonight, especially with a returner like Hackworth too.
Well, if field position counts for anything in a football game, Bush really is dominating this game. But what's the score? Nothing. Cormier back in, and they run him over the right side. Tries to get to the edge, gets 3 yards, that's it. Slammed to the turf very hard by Gaia Tim. Tim spells his last name like him, H-Y-M, silent N. You ever watch Julian Smith videos on YouTube?
No.
They're very funny. They were made, I don't know, back in 07. It's been a while, but they're still funny. And they make no point whatsoever. No political points at all. Nothing.
Who is Julian?
He's just a guy who had a camera and some friends who can act. Straight up the middle goes Bush again, feeding Adrian Cormier. That's a gain of 3, so it's 3rd down and 5 as the Broncos are keeping it simple. Maybe if you want to go home early, if you're at this ball game, this may be the right game for you.
I do have the Michigan game and the UH game and the Texas game tonight. All my teams are playing at the 6:30 slot, so I would like to get home.
You know what else? There are no bands here. Well, the Clements band is here.
Right.
The Bush band is not, so maybe we'll have a shorter than usual halftime. But you like to talk, don't you?
Oh, I love talking.
Let's talk about the first round of the playoffs because we don't have any halftime guests lined up. 3rd down and 5. Hilder drops back, throws straight over the middle, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. But wait a minute, a flag? No flag?
No flag.
No flag. Aaron Valentine, the sophomore receiver and a very good athlete, was asking for a flag, but he's not going to get it. Titan Chanelak makes the play. Did he arrive too early? Well,
I don't
guess
think.
If the official doesn't think so, it doesn't matter, but you don't think so either.
I don't think so either. I think it's a good call.
Devin Moore does not look the part of a punter. He looks like a run stuffer deluxe, a nose tackle type, and that's what he is.
Coach Darnell's bringing Patrick Smith up again, so they're checking for fake.
There's a high snap, but Moore has it, and he does get it away. It bounces a couple of times, and Patrick Smith was pointing at something, but it turns out...
I'm sorry, he was just telling his guy to get away from the ball.
Yeah. So it wasn't a pretty punt at all, but it goes all the way to the 19-yard line, so that's not bad.
Yeah, no, I think Patrick made the right decision there because the ball was bouncing a little hot. That is the right call to let it go, but it's just a thing of mine. This is one thing where I differ from my I don't know, what do you call it, my mentor, Coach Sniffen, who kind of, is my coaching mentor. A lot of times he would move the returner up just to ensure that we got the ball back and it wasn't a fake, and I really disagree with that. I hate watching punts roll for extra yardage. That always makes me cringe, like what I saw right there.
And do we have a timeout prior to the snap? Yes, we do. Bush calls a timeout. We'll take it with him. I want to come back and ask you about something that we just saw on the non-return of the punt. When we return, no score, Bush and Clements, second quarter.
Hi, this is Mariela and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, OfficeMax, and OfficeDepot.com.
All right, here goes Clements, 1st and 10 after the Bush timeout. Up the middle, Kasuma, good running. Gets it to the 6, gets a 6-yard gain, maybe 7. And a whole gang of Bush Broncos drive him back. Isaac Bouye in on the tackle, and they didn't give him as much yardage as I thought he had. It's only a 3-yard pickup.
I guess it, go ahead.
What I was going to say is, okay, I guess I don't have time to say it here, but it's something about what Patrick Smith did on that punt.
Okay.
There goes Kasuma straight up the middle. There is some good yardage, and he gets to the 30, really gets popped right there, but he picks up the first down on an 8-yard gain, and I think that was Okorafor who hit him, and it might have been actually my buddy Henry Tatum.
Going fast.
Now they're going fast. I'll never get to tell it. Now they throw it down the near sideline for Mo Sear, and it's incomplete, and a flag comes in. They kind of ran the hideout play with Gabriel Mo Sear outside the numbers. And Omodia was on the case. He did get out there.
Coach Darnell pointing over to the Bush, to the defense. Perhaps someone was lined up in the neutral zone again? I'm not sure.
Derek Dickerson, our referee. Well, he made the signal for a substitution infraction. We didn't hear him, but that's okay. We know what the call is, and it's against Bush.
Yeah, can you give me the pronunciation on number 9?
Mo Sear, Gabriel Mo Sear.
Mo Sear was just completely uncovered there. I mean, Modia realized it late, but they didn't initially cover him down. And I didn't see if that was like where they snuck him onto the field or if Bush just did not account for him.
Yeah, we used to call that the hideout play. And I was on a high school team that frankly wasn't very good, so we had several trick plays to try and get something done. And we used the hideout play a couple of times.
We did it at Aldine. We got it. We had it completely wide open just like that against Eisenhower and could not connect on the pass.
1st and 5, empty backfield. We've got 8:21 to go before halftime, where Kovo and I will basically do a beautiful tap dance preview of the first round of the playoffs. Chenier looking down the near sideline. It's Marcus Darnell over the shoulder catch at the 42 of Bush, and Tatum pushes him out of bounds, but that's a beautiful catch. So hard to keep your eye on the football when it's thrown over the outside shoulder from that particular angle. What a catch by Marcus Darnell, and
what a throw too.
Clements is ready to go again. There goes Mo Sear in motion up the middle. Kasuma running hard, twisting, turning, 11 yards, and another first down.
Nice blocking there by number 65 and 66, the junior Brian Navarro and the sophomore Zach Yuan. This is my biggest surprise, Rod. I was going to say, I have a feeling Clements is about to hit a big pass. So far, my intuition has been pretty good, but The thing where I've been dead wrong, is I thought Bush was going to neutralize line of scrimmage early on from what I saw. Clements is starting to establish the inside run game. That spells trouble for the Broncos.
So inside handoff, Kasuma hit deep in the backfield and goes down for a loss of 2, maybe 3. Devin Moore finished it off. And the guy who got there first was Isaac Bouye, and in between, Chandler Davis. So we've seen these Clements teams in the last few years who just kind of look like they expect maybe something bad is going to happen. This team seems to expect a good play to turn it around for them in a good way. It's such a change in personality.
Yeah.
180 degrees different.
Great job. See, Bush is showing blitz. They're checking the play. So now they'll be able to go outside since Bush is bringing the inside blitz.
There's a slant, and it's Joey Mongonia with the catch for a gain of about 6, and he leans forward and might have picked up a yard or 2 more. 6'5" junior Joey Mongonia.
Yeah, I was going to say, so after all the successful run plays, Bush sent an inside blitz, and they blow you up for a loss, which that's the rub against Bush, right? You'll get a good play, but then they can overwhelm you. Now we got a 3rd down and 8, but you'll see what Clements is doing. They're starting to run the look play, right, where they line up, let Bush show if they're going to blitz or not, and then they look to the offensive coordinator for the new play. And so that was good for them. So they were able to get into a good play versus the blitz there on the pass to Mongonia. Overload set down here, Roger. 4 receivers.
4 receivers. And that make it 5. Here comes Morellis in motion. And now a screen pass looking for Patrick Smith, a dangerous pass. It falls incomplete. A flag comes in late. And Gunnar Chenier kind of threw it over Patrick Smith's head, I think just trying to avoid an interception, but he almost had one. And while they sort out this penalty thing here, which, by the way, do you have an idea who it's on?
I'm surprised because, it was a screenplay. So typically, like what I saw, the linemen let them through. So you don't see holding called on screenplays because that's kind of the antithesis of what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
You're trying. Maybe it was one where one of the linemen tried to kind of throw the defender past him and kind of threw him downward a little bit. But yeah, I didn't see it myself, but one of the linemen for sure.
It was indeed offensive holding. So that's going to back it up to where it is a 3rd down and 17 for the Rangers. And on the non-punt return that started this possession, Patrick Smith used good judgment to avoid doing what sometimes Clements, it's 1 or 2 outstanding, speedy players would do in the past. They were so desperate to make a play that if a punt was skittering along, they might think, if I pick it up here, I might have a chance to do something with it. But with the 2021 edition of the Clements Rangers, they're able to avoid taking those risks, and they can be a little more patient.
Yes.
Because the big scoring play will come for them.
I agree. And as much as I hate seeing the ball roll for extra yardage, Patrick Smith, like you said, he did the right thing in that situation because it was kind of a difficult hop. And you're right, it wasn't worth the risk for him to try to field that.
And since Patrick Smith has been playing at the varsity level since he was a freshman, it probably, some of those images I have of Clements players trying to make something happen in that way, it was probably him. 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So there was a timeout taken before the 3rd and 17, and looking at the timeouts on the scoreboard, that must have been a Clements timeout because each team still has 2 remaining. So no score as we have 6:18 to go before the half, and the Rangers trying to make something happen on 3rd and 17. Chenier drops back, looks to his right. He's going to air it out. Looking for Darnell. Got it! Touchdown, Rangers! What a beauty. 38-yard rainbow to the end zone. And there's your big offensive play to get the Rangers on the board.
That's their best bet, Roger, in my opinion. They are running the ball pretty well, but there's also going to – it's kind of like you gain 8, then you're going to lose 4. And, I think the thing that they're going to have all night if they want it is those rub routes. They're having a quick pick happen where Darnell runs the wheel route. It's out and then up the sideline. He's coming open almost every time.
Lyle Link is on to add the extra point out of the hold of Gunnar Chenier. Snap and hold are good, and the kick is very high and a thing of beauty. It's good.
No good.
No?
No good.
Over to the right? Did he push it right?
They didn't say which side. They marked no good. I couldn't, from my angle, I can't see.
Okay, well.
But no good.
Sorry that I said it wrong. It looked pretty good, and based on where it landed, it seemed like it landed in such a position.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying the officials missed it. I'm
right.
just saying
he kicked it really hard. I don't know. I mean, normally Allison Wong is the extra point kicker.
Yeah, she's been kicking points after for several weeks.
Because, I mean, obviously he kicks it really hard, but you don't get style points for distance on extra points. You just got to get it down the middle. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah, a no good kick.
By the way, I don't know what happened, but I haven't been running commercials the last couple of opportunities we've had, so I got to do that. Next opportunity. So Timothy Kroon, one thing that Timothy was doing a lot early in the season was getting a touchback on every kickoff. And I'm not sure if maybe the Rangers coaching staff has figured out that they have good enough kick coverage that maybe they're better off, seeing if they can get the other team to return it. Well, this one goes into the end zone. It's going to be brought out. It's Hackworth, 10-yard line, 15. No, it's actually Amodia, and he's brought down at the 23-yard line. Hustling down to get him was Zachary Mandeville.
All right, be curious to see what Bush comes back with. Like I said, in my opinion, I'd like to see him try to run off tackle. I think that they've had some success there, but we'll see what Bush elects to do. I think Clements wants to turn it into a passing game. I think they trust their coverage out there. They're sending some heat to try to stuff the run game, and they want to try to make Bush win on the arm of Tyler Hilder.
Well, it's not like Bush only throws the ball about 5 yards a game, but they really don't like to throw. They typically throw when they just need to. Up the middle, Cormier, good blocking, and he gets a quick 8 yards over the left side, and Patrick Smith found him.
Touchdown saving tackle, honestly speaking. I mean, there was a big hole, and I just never seen a running back get to the safety level so quickly, and if Smith hadn't made that tackle, that would have probably been a touchdown run.
Those were the old days, right?
Exactly, and that's the difference, right? That is the difference. Like when you have, I'm going to just call, like my brother likes to call them dudes. Patrick Smith is a dude. You got guys that can step up in the hole and make big tackles. Like it makes you look so much better.
2nd down and 3, blitz look from Clements. They come off the edge, and there goes Cormier. He picks up the first down yardage with a gain of 4, and the guy who was blitzing from the left, Ferris Rafai, made the tackle.
Yeah, nice double team block there by number 78, Jose Torres, and number 62, Jason Ezekona. A lot of movement there on that side of the line.
Bush takes its time between plays. Tyler Hilder, if he's anywhere near the bench, maybe if the line of scrimmage is between the 20s, he trots over to his coach and gets the play verbally, then goes to the huddle. 1st and 10 from the 34. Cormier again. Off the left, slanting, gets about 5 yards and hit hard by Matt McGinnis, who's hit a lot of people hard in his time as a Clements Ranger. He's a senior, and he will be missed next year.
Yeah, that was a nice block there by number 76, Ikenna Nwakor. So I'm seeing the Bush O-line really start to shine right now. And so that's scary for the Rangers fans tuning in. I mean, they're doing a very good job on the O-line. Coach Darnell spoke very reverentially about Matt McInnes and how he's kind of like going to pass the torch down to Ferris Rafai next season as the leader of the defense.
2nd down and 5 after that first down carry from Cormier. Donovan Nixon is in the backfield, and they give it to him. He's hit deep. He does get across the line of scrimmage for a gain of 1, maybe 2, but it was Patrick Smith who actually came up from safety
100%.
And tripped him up.
Yeah, great eye. I mean, I was going to say great call there by Coach Haddock, sent the safety blitz off the edge. Well-timed. Patrick Smith did a great job timing. I mean, Smith is an all-around player. I mean, a 5-tool player equivalent, you know what I'm saying? Like, he does it all. And I can't just say enough about him. He's having a breakout senior season. Very proud of him and his efforts there, and that was a great tackle.
It's 6-0 Clements on a 38-yard pass to Marcus Darnell from Gunnar Chenier. And on 3rd and 3, Hilder's going to throw it. Throws it late behind his receiver, Valentine. But interference is going to be called here on Titan Chanelak.
You know, and we don't have the best feel of it, but definitely on that one, I would say there was more going on than the one before that was a little questionable. I mean, it felt to me like maybe he had his arm kind of wrapped around as he trailed the receiver, but I'm not surprised the flags were thrown there.
I guess maybe by the book, that's a good call. It seems like on a slant like that, if the ball is thrown behind the receiver, of course he's going to slow down as soon as he sees that it's behind him. Well, can you blame the defensive back if he's just kind of running right behind him, and the impact never would have happened if the receiver doesn't suddenly put on the brakes? But doesn't matter. Automatic first down at the 50-yard line for Bush, trailing 6-0. Hilder is going to pass again. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. He's hit, and he's dropped. A sack, a loss of 3.
Yeah, Roger, the thing that stands out to me, like number 28, Bryce Matthews, a sophomore cornerback, at the bottom of our picture, he was playing bump and run man-to-man coverage like he's, I don't know, Antonio Rivas, like Rivas, or Darrelle Rivas back in the day.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Rivas Island.
And I think that's because Clements and Coach Haddock, I don't know if this is his game plan or not, but it feels like they're trying to challenge Bush, like, hey, take shots on us. Like, they believe in their coverage, and they're trying to make Bush go deep, and Bush has not really tried for the most part so far.
I think 3 Rangers got a hand on Hilder, but Xander Salazar ended up getting the sack. Cormier runs right, and the Clements defense strings it out well, limiting him to a gain of 1, and it's going to bring up 3rd down, and let's call it 3.
And that's scary for Bush. Like, that's the thing that I've been stumping for Bush, right, is try to run that off-tackle play, and there it was. This time Clements defended it the best they have all night. Great job coming over the top, making the play for the Rangers.
The last guy that hit Cormier on that run just knocked him backwards, and he went out of bounds. He just had no room, so he just saw navy blue jerseys everywhere. 3rd and 3. This is a big play. 2:33 to go in the half. 6-0 Clements. Hilder is going to throw. Looking left, and he's got a man wide open, but he overshot Jamon Cooley. That would have been a touchdown easily because that was a rub, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, so the inside receiver running the wheel route. Same thing that Marcus Darnell has been coming open on. Exact same thing. Also there was also confusion because they took the back and motioned him out, and that motion caused confusion amongst the defenders on as far as how they're going to defend that. And so, yeah, wide open, busted coverage. The Rangers dodge a bullet.
That's one thing that high school football, even in Texas, looks way different from college and pro ball. You see more receivers all alone way down the field in high school football than you do in college and pro. Devin Moore to punt. That's a nice punt. It's wobbly, and it's a fair catch called for and made by Patrick Smith at the 28 with 2:22 to go before halftime. We'll take a very quick break and be back.
Everything, and we mean everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max.
Taking care of business.
Okay, here we go. The Rangers will no doubt run the hurry-up offense. A trick play. Kasuma to Kazimervis. Throws over the middle, and D'Antonio Hackworth intercepts it. Bush gets the ball back at the 46 of Clements. Patrick Smith, guess who, was the intended receiver, but he was able to tackle Hackworth right now as soon as he caught the football. And that's a good thing because if Hackworth starts running free on a disorganized downfield interception, he can take it to the house.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Patrick was the intended receiver because that's where the ball ended up, but Marcus Darnell was wide open deeper.
Oh.
I almost think he was trying for Marcus Darnell, but he got hit, and so the ball didn't, But either way, Marcus Darnell was wide open on that play.
So what will Bush decide to do? They've got plenty of time. 2 minutes, 14 seconds, and a pair of timeouts, and Hilder's going to throw. Far sideline, and it's incomplete. Is there going to be a flag? No, there's not. Titan Chanelak broke it up and evidently did not break any rules. See, I'm trying to see who they were trying to get that to. Maybe it was Aaron Valentine. Yeah, that's who it was. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the Bush defensive coordinator there was livid. I could see him, or one of the defensive coaches, livid. That was like what essentially you'd call like face guarding. But I don't believe it's illegal at the high school level. So
yeah, you don't have to turn your head around.
Yes, I think that was a good no call.
Up the middle, there goes Cormier. Look out, he's free inside the 20, the 35 at the 32-yard line, and keeps on going. What fight he had! But who tackled him? Patrick Smith.
But there is a flag as well.
Oh, there's a flag.
Yeah.
I thought you...
I was pointing at the flag, yes.
Yeah. Well, that will bail Clements out with exactly 2 minutes to go instead of a 1st and 10 for Bush inside the Clements 30. They're going to have a 2nd and very long from... Well, if that's a holding call from where the flag was thrown, it'll be 2nd and at least 20. And you know what I think we're going to see now? If Bush decides, well, this down and distance situation isn't good for us, we're going to run it, I think Clements will go ahead and use its final 2 timeouts to try and get the ball back with a decent amount of time left. Hilder with his shirt tail all the way out. Turns around and hands it to Cormier. Knocked down by Rafai after a 4-yard pickup. Is that Clements timeout coming? Not yet. The clock is at 1:42 and ticking.
I think, yeah, I'm not, and I definitely agree with you. You could do that, but also Bush is so explosive. I think Coach Darnell is going to be happy to get to halftime up 6-0 as well.
Keep in mind that the Rangers won the opening toss and took the football, so Bush will get it first if that's what they want to do in the 3rd quarter. Hilder drops back, looking deep, plenty of time to throw, moves toward the sideline, throws late and incomplete. He was trying to get it to, I think, Donovan Nixon, who had come out of the backfield, and it was Weza Pereira down the field making the coverage. The incomplete pass is helpful to Clements. 1:09 to go, and it's time to punt to Patrick Smith.
And earlier on, Patrick Smith is coming way up, and there is no returner. Clements is just going to let this one go and just, I guess, ensure that it's not a fake.
Or they may bring 11 men to try and block it.
True.
Smith looks like he's coming, and there he goes. The snap is high. Devin Moore does get the punt away, and it's a very nice one. It'll get the job done. It rolls inside the 20 to the 19, and the Broncos players are fanning the football to try to get it to go another yard, and I think it worked. It's down at the 18. So 55.3. What's your buddy Bobby Darnell going to do here?
I think it's been kind of the no biscuit, no risk it mentality.
Yes.
You know? Like, I don't know, the wheel route's been coming wide open to his boy Marcus all day long. I don't see any reason why not to do it. Obviously, the drawback is if heaven forbid, a strip sack happens here, Bush can easily score before the half.
Okay, so you said no biscuit, no risk it?
Or no risk it, no biscuit, right?
Okay, I'll go Tex-Mex on you and say sometimes you want the whole enchilada. A little bit is better than nada. And up the middle they go, so it doesn't look like they're going to wing it down the field, at least not on the first play.
And that's not a bad decision. Again, going up 6-0 with your defense playing lights out, either way you go, I wouldn't find any problem with it. Either way you go.
So they'll let the clock tick down probably under 10 seconds and then snap it. And, since it's that late, then maybe they will just have a wing and a prayer. It's another handoff. There goes J.R. Morellis. Short gain, about 3 yards. And I think that'll be the final play of the half, or will it? No, we've had a timeout called.
See, my scary part about even just like running it to try to get to halftime, you might pop it, but also, you could fumble it.
We'll take a quick break and be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
First Iron Automotive heard you were thinking of starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $15 off oil changes, $100 off 4 tires, and save on just about any service. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
We're back, but the Rangers are only just now breaking their huddle of players as they'll talk to Coach Ruthart, and he will dial something up. And I have to believe that they're going to do something that could possibly get a score, or they wouldn't have called a timeout. Chenier turns and tosses it to Kasuma. Kasuma on the sweep, and he gets upended near the 34-yard line, and that's going to do it for the first half. Or will it? No, 12 seconds left. They still have time. The clock stops as they got a first down. Now the clock starts running again, and Clements does have a timeout, but will they use it?
Looks like no.
And the clock has run out. Okay, after one half of football, it's 6-0 Clements over the Bush Broncos. What's on the line here is to avoid playing Katy in round number 1. We'll be right back. James Kovaleski and I will tell you everything you wanted to know and more. Well, maybe that's an exaggeration. I don't know, but we're going to talk about the first round playoff matchups for Fort Bend teams when we come back on VypeFortBend.com.
You work hard, so you deserve the good things in life, like getting an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Get the fast and reliable internet you deserve for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for the first time ever, ask how to get 12 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile. Just imagine, faster downloads, more streaming, the possibilities are endless. That's more speed and you'll save hundreds over AT&T. Oh yeah, and for a limited time, ask how to get $300 back. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now, because you deserve awesome internet. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 11/21/21. Restrictions apply. New connect internet 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Compares monthly service charge for Xfinity 600 megabits per second to AT&T 500 megabits per second, each with 1 unlimited mobile line per year as of 10/6/21. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of mobile usage.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Become a Vype Insider today. Access breaking news in high school sports. Enjoy premium articles and exclusive coverage written by expert analysts, and watch exclusive videos, documentaries on programs in your area. It's only $2.99 a month if you subscribe for the monthly plan. If you go for the yearly plan, it rounds out to just $1.99 a month. It costs you only $24 a year to get all of your Vype news throughout the entire year. Subscribe today. What are you waiting for? It's less than a cup of coffee a month. Become a Vype Insider. $2.99 a month $23.99 for the whole year. Hey, it's Vype. We will see you at the games.
First Iron Automotive heard you were thinking of starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $15 off oil changes, $100 off 4 tires, and save on just about any service. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
Before the state contest, so please welcome the Clements High School marching band and drum.
The fans love their Clements marching band, and they sound great. In fact, they're so loud, I'm going to turn them down a little bit just so you can hear Kovo and me.
Yeah, the word majestic comes to mind. I mean, honestly, like that sound just blew me away. Really great job of the Clements band.
This sounds like a big college band right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kovo, let's talk about what's coming up in the playoffs for our Fort Bend schools. Before I do that, I just want to let everybody know that the Ridge Point Panther girls have moved into the 3rd round. They're the only Fort Bend 6A team that is left, and they're going to be taking on the Tompkins Falcons at the Merrill Center on Monday night. Should be an awesome volleyball match. I don't know if Ridge Point can get past it because Tompkins is very, very strong, but maybe Ridge Point has what it takes, and if they do, I think they could very easily challenge and make their way to Garland for the state's Final Four. And that would be the weekend before Thanksgiving. But okay, football playoffs. A little bit of inside football here. James Williams, head coach of the Marshall Buffs, always likes to play his by-district game on Thursday, but this year he didn't get his wish. And so that means that on Thursday it's going to be Ridge Point against Seven Lakes right here at Hall Stadium. Of course, it'll be on VypeFortBend.com. And I don't know how much, if anything, you know about Seven Lakes, but I just don't see any way that Ridge Point does not advance to the second round.
I don't know. Yeah, I would agree Ridge Point's the favorite, but I don't know if you saw me last week. Coach Hammond, the former Ridge Point defensive coordinator, he and I are good friends, and Coach Dober, his defensive coordinator, is another guy I coached with, and they feel confident that they can, hang and be competitive. I know last year the game got away from them really quickly, but I just know that those guys really like their team. And so I think you're going to see a really spirited effort. Seven Lakes is coming off a gritty, heartfelt, emotional win last night over Cinco Ranch in a 2-point game. I saw the Cinco Ranch coaches here scouting Clements for their matchup. I would agree with you, no doubt. Ridge Point is the favorite, but I wouldn't cash that check yet. You know what I mean? I think we could have a good game on our hands.
By the way, this is probably not that important to coaching staffs or players, or not that they would admit, but sometimes when there's a football game and you have at least a little bit of animosity, it makes it more fun. That's kind of gone away because it wasn't a real warm and fuzzy relationship between former head coach Brett Sniffen of Ridge Point and Jimmy Hammond when he moved over to Seven Lakes. They faced each other in postseason, and sometimes it was kind of contentious, and there are a couple of official calls, and maybe you could see that the coaches were not necessarily arguing with the officials. They were kind of arguing with each other.
Yeah.
But now that Coach LaFavors is in charge at Ridge Point, it just seems like there's no negative rivalry at all.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I think that Jimmy and Brett Sniffen, Jimmy Hammond and Brett Sniffen, they have a good relationship. But you're right, in that particular game, it got testy. We all could see it, at midfield. But I think that's water under the bridge. I mean, those guys. I think that game just was so competitive that event happened. But yeah, you're right. But with Rick LaFavors, we've talked about this. Rick is just that dude that's just like the fun-loving, just salt of the earth kind of, and Jimmy is too, but Rick is just that kind of fun-loving guy. I just don't see him ever getting into a bitter feud or dispute with anyone. If he were a wrestler, he would definitely be a babyface, not a heel, right?
Well, not only is Lefever's just he's basically a friendly guy,
yes,
respectful
so.
to everyone. But I have asked him a couple of questions. You know, for example, the first time he played against Elkins, I basically framed the question: do you have any idea just how bitter this rivalry can be, because you have the split Elkins neighborhood that formed Ridge Point, and they had some great games against each other in all different sports. And he basically just said, I don't really care about that stuff. You know, I don't get into rivalries in the past. We just want to win tonight.
You know, and he is really good about not letting the outside noise and just focusing on his team. But we have a Ridge Point Panthers alumni Facebook group, you know, that I'm a member of course, as a former
Man, I
coach.
wish I could be in that, but I'm not an alum.
Yeah, you may. Maybe as a preferred guest, since you've covered us for so long, I would talk next game. Talk to Chris Fisher, the offensive line coach for Ridge Point. He's the administrator, and we'll see if we can get you in as a press entrance, because you would love it, because there's a lot of cool posts that happen. And basically, Coach Fisher made a post showing, you know, Ridge Point has won the district championship 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21. It was just 2019 that I believe Travis got him.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyhow, so it was a picture and showing that, posting to the alums. Coach Lefever's posted on there, and I thought it was a really poignant quote that he said. He said, "We walk on the shoulders of giants. Thank you to everyone that came before." So you're right that he doesn't let the outside noise get in, but he also does. He is a student of the past, and he's very reverential to what came before him and everything Coach Sniffen built, and guys like Coach Hammond and Coach Darnell, even myself, you know, to a little bit. He's very aware of that, and I don't know. He's first class. I really love that about him, and I'm excited for Ridge Point, everything they got going on right now.
And it sounds like he kind of borrowed a chapter from the Mac Brown playbook, because when Mac Brown came to Texas, he realized that there are a lot of people that love the Longhorns, but they felt kind of left out by the John Mackovic regime, and he wanted to make sure that he reached out to all those folks and said, we want you to come to these gatherings, to these fundraisers. We want you to be part of the golf tournaments that we have and things like that. So I think he's very inclusive that way.
That's a great point, Roger. I think, and I was guilty of this when I went to Aldine. When you come in as a new coach, you in your mind, you're just like, I've got to fix the culture. I got to change everything. I've got to change. And I think you got to be careful with that, because sometimes when you do that, it kind of maybe poo-poos what happened in the past, and you don't want to do that. Every program has pride and history in their past, and so I agree with that 100%. If I could go back and do anything differently at Aldine, as much as I did a great job trying to highlight like those 1990s state championship teams and those kinds of teams, I think I was just too focused on changing everything. I think you want to really evaluate what that is there. It has been working. And I think that's something that Coach Lefevre has done a good job of, right? He's brought in his own things. In my interview with Coach Hammond last week, that we played prior to last week's game, Rick has changed a lot of things schematically and changed a lot of things, but there's also a lot of things he's kept the same and he's built upon. So, this is a great matchup. Two of the best coaches in the Houston area, in my opinion. Yes, I'm biased. I do let my biases come through a lot in my broadcasting, but I try not to. They really are two great leaders there and great staffs as well.
And, it sounds like we're maybe gushing too much about Coach Lefevre's, but I'm going to say one more thing about him. I go to so many different sporting events, and I can kind of tell you from all 11 Fort Bend schools, the head football coach does not come to different kind of games very often. But at Ridge Point, it is very common for him to walk into the gym during a volleyball match or a girls' or boys' basketball game, softball or baseball. And he's like assistant principal Rick Gaines, who just loves the Panthers so much.
Yeah.
He just wants to come out and pull for them. The first time I saw Coach Lefevre's doing something like that, I wasn't really familiar with his family. And I said, you have a daughter playing in this game? And he said, no, I just want to see how we're doing.
Yeah, he's got like 5 sons, or at least 4. But one more story, last gushing story on Coach Lefevre. So we went down there after the game to go congratulate Coach Darnell on the big win over George Ranch.
Uh-huh.
Guess who also was down there?
I didn't see him, but must have been Lefevre's.
And I ended up talking to Lefevre's after the game, and he's like, he was at home in Siena after their game, and just he was looking at the scores on the app, and he saw that Clements was winning, and he said, man, I better get up there. I better try to get up there and say congratulate Bobby. And so that's what honestly he was just telling me how happy he was for Coach Darnell and everything. And so He literally left his house in the fourth quarter. He lives in Siena, so not far, and sped over here just so he could personally, because he showed up in shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops. I mean, he literally was at home relaxing. But that's the kind of guy that he is. You know, another coach in the district, he went out of his way to just be there in person to say congratulations. So.
There's only one thing that you said in your last part. There's one little part of it I didn't like. Why was he looking at the app instead of listening to VypeFortBend.com? That's what he should have been doing. Yes. Okay. All right, so now let's move on. So in the big school division, Class 6A Division 1, Travis is going to be taking on Tompkins. Tompkins has had an incredible year. They're one of those teams that if Katy wasn't in their district, they would win, 90+% of the districts in Texas. They're that good. So what's Travis's chance to win the game there?
I don't feel comfortable answering that question in a sense, just because I only got to watch Travis play Dulles, and what I saw it was a lot less explosive type of Travis than what I'm been accustomed to. I think they don't quite have the overall team speed and playmaking like they've had in the past, so they're playing a slower brand of football. So I guess my answer would be to slow down the pace of the game, limit the number of snaps, and try to win it in a lower scoring game. Than I know a couple years ago, I think Tompkins was 9-1 or 10. Something along. They came in at Mercer Stadium. It was Travis and Tompkins, and I was shocked that Travis took them all the way down to the wire. So there is precedence for Travis playing Tompkins really well. So
I think you assessed it very well, because Travis over the years has just had some kind of stud receiver. You could go back to R.J. Henderson. You could go back to Parker Washington, and they also there's somebody I'm leaving out who is more recent than Parker Washington. Oh my goodness, why can't I do this? Cameron Oliver, Camo.
Oh yes, yep.
So just guys that could run faster than anyone else on the field, and Travis has quality receivers. They got guys who run good routes and have pretty good speed and can catch the football. And Anthony Njoku can get the ball to them, but he just doesn't have that guy that stretches the field that really terrifies the other secondary. That's one thing Travis is missing. They'll probably be able to find someone like that in their student population. And, that would probably make the difference. But it will hurt them that they just don't have that one Usain Bolt type of speedy game breaker in their offense this year. But they're very, very solid. Okay, so that covers 5A, Class 6A Division 1. Ridgepoint taking on Seven Lakes, and Travis is going to take on Tompkins. So we can't really go beyond that because we're not certain who's going to have to play Katy. It's basically the loser of this game is going to play Katy, and those of you who did not realize it, Dulles beat George Ranch last night at Traylor Stadium, and it's been a very difficult year for head coach Shane Bird and the Dulles Vikings, but props to them because they persevered and they went out there and they played a great game and came up with a win.
And I said it, Roger, maybe some fans don't like that wing tee style of offense, but I said that's their best chance to win. And sure enough, I didn't get to watch the game, but I saw the score. I think it was 16-14. So that style of football, I think, helped them win that football game.
Yeah, and I have to confess here, I don't even know what the final score was. Do you?
I think it was 16-14, if I remember correctly.
Okay, I did know that they had a 9-7 lead at one point, so that makes perfect sense. I mean, if each team scored 7 after it was that score, then there you go, 16-14. What was that? Don't worry, it's not our equipment, it's just the loudspeaker feeding back. So now we can move into Class 5A Division 2, and the Marshall Buffs, who have been to the state championship game 2 of the last 3 years. The year that they didn't make it was last year when Crosby knocked them out in the regional semifinals. And so I think there's a very good chance that Marshall can make it back to that state championship game. It's not a guarantee that Aledo is going to be there, but it could be Ennis. It could even be Lucas Lovejoy. Any one of those teams, I think, are a good bet to come out of Region 2. So I hope that it does not work against Marshall this year the same way it did last year. It's not their fault, but they're in a district where there's nobody that they play who can challenge them, and it's really tough. When they were playing Manville once a year, they had at least one game that they knew would be a brutally tough game. So I'm just kind of wondering who can stop Marshall in Region 3. Anybody?
Roger, I've been really focused on Aldine ISD football this year. I haven't really looked outside of it, but last year they ran into a buzzsaw. Crosby was just on fire. And I know we don't like we talked about last week not diverting our attention with the Astros or anything, but we ran into a buzzsaw with the Braves.
That's right.
They were a team of destiny, like we've got, and they won it. That's kind of what Crosby was last year. I mean, they just were went there. They just knocked off upset after upset after just knocked off giant after giant. And so that was so fulfilling for them to have that season. They definitely did not luck into it. They knocked off all of the top contenders one after another. And so it's just tough. And you're right. It's a tough schedule. Or the opposite of a tough schedule. It's such an easy schedule for Marshall that it hurts them later.
Yeah.
And again, whenever you talk to these guys that you have these relationships with, Coach Williams and Coach LeFevers, let's bring back the Marshall-Ridge Point rivalry in non-district. I think that'd be a great game for both of them. I'd love to see that. I would love it next time that we have the realignment coming up and the coaches need to redo their schedules. That'd be must-see TV or radio.
Well, over the years, you and I have covered some Marshall playoff games, and in the first round, they have drawn Port Neches Groves, I think at least 3 times over the last 5 seasons or so, something like that. But this year, for the first time, they're going to open with Barbers Hill. Now, Barbers Hill is one of those schools that just has excellent athletic programs in everything. They're a one-school ISD. And is their head football coach still the same guy that used to be at Allen for most of Allen's state championships?
Westerberg? I don't know.
I don't know if he is still there or not, but I do know this. Barbers Hill won the state championship in both baseball and softball last year. Now, Marshall's not going to be playing baseball or softball next week, but still, Barbers Hill is one of those schools that is big and growing, and they're unified. And even though they went 4-3 in their district football games this year, I just think Marshall better be ready for round 1, and it's going to be Friday night here at Hall Stadium. We'll have that game too.
Yeah, kind of a little aside. The district, as far as that I know, that pays the highest for coaches or teachers in general, it's Barbers Hill. And so whatever it is, I don't know if it's the oil money out there, they pay very handsomely. And that's why a guy like Westerberg would leave a place like Allen or winning state. It's because it's the payday. It's the money, And so what that tells me, though, is they're going to be very well coached because they're able to pay top dollar to get the best facilities, the best coaches, the best everything. So I'm really curious if I do that game to be able to see them. I've never seen them play a game. I know before that, Ronnie Gage was the coach who I coached with at Austin College. He was at Louisville back in the 90s when they beat MacArthur for the state championship, and they run that flexbone triple option. So that was something they'd done in the past. I'm sure with Coach Westerberg, they'd probably run the spread now, but it'll be very interesting to see Barbers Hill, the team I've never had the pleasure of ever watching live.
Okay, by the way, this afternoon here at Hall Stadium, we didn't broadcast the game, but the Willow Ridge Eagles, who were already out of playoff contention before today's game started, lost at home to Galena Park. So it's been kind of a rough season for Coach Ramon Chin Young, who he and his team made a great showing last year during the season of COVID. They still managed to cope with adversity in a great way last year. But things just have not gone their way this year, and so they closed the season with a loss to Galena Park and no playoffs for Willow Ridge. So now let's think about Class 5A Division I, where the Hightower Hurricanes were able to make it through the very, very difficult minefield that is it District 24 5A Division I? Frankly, I can't remember the number of their district. But they got Peyto, they've got Angleton, and they've got Manville. And Foster is usually stronger than they were this year, but Foster was the odd team out, did not make the playoff field. And Hightower finished in a tie for first. Manville and Peyto and Hightower all lost one district game each.
Oh, I love that. I love when that happens.
But the problem was Peyto beat Hightower like a redheaded stepchild. It was 55-7. The Panthers just ambushed the Hurricanes. And the Hurricanes won their game over Manville just 16-12. It was a tough defensive struggle. And when Manville beat Pato, it was by a fairly slim margin, I think 10, 11 points, maybe 9, something like that. So Pato is the top seed, Manville is the second seed, and Hightower as the third seed has to play the number 2 seed of the district that they're facing. And guess what? It's a little bit of a shortened halftime since only one band performed. We went all the way through halftime, and we did it, Kobo.
I had fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
I could talk to you for an hour, Roger. We could start our own podcast or something.
Yeah, if we ever have a lightning delay again, we can talk that one through. And the one thing that I don't know, and maybe you could check it out, I'm going to take one quick commercial break here before the third quarter starts. See if you can find out who Hightower's first-round playoff opponent is. It would be the second seed out of the district that they faced in round 1. Okay, we'll be right back. 6-0 Clements, and we'll start the third quarter after this break.
You work hard, so you deserve the good things in life, like getting an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Get the fast and reliable internet you deserve for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for the first time ever, ask how to get 12 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile. Just imagine, faster downloads, more streaming, the possibilities are endless. That's more speed and you'll save hundreds over AT&T. Oh yeah, and for a limited time, ask how to get $300 back. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now, because you deserve awesome internet. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 11/21/21. Restrictions apply. New connect internet 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Compares monthly service charge for Xfinity 600 megabits per second to AT&T 500 megabits per second, each with one unlimited mobile line per year as of 10/6/21. Reduced speeds up to 20 gigabytes of mobile usage.
Time for the beginning of the third quarter. The Rangers will kick off, and the Bush Broncos will receive it and go left to right here at Hall Stadium. That is to say, they will try to advance the ball to the south end zone. Timothy Kroon, the strong left-footed kicker, will boot it away. He has it teed up almost right in the middle of the field. D'Antonio Hackworth is back to receive. And the kickoff comes to Hackworth at the 2-yard line, near the sideline on this side. Up the sideline he goes, across the 25, breaks a tackle, gets to the 30, still spinning and fighting, and gets to the 36. That's an excellent 34-yard kickoff return for D'Antonio Hackworth.
Really good job there by Timothy Kroon, the kicker. He didn't make the tackle, and that's not his forte, but he was able to give the effort to slow down Hackworth just enough so the help could come.
You know, there's something that I've noticed over the years. It's just kind of the style of Alan Aldridge and his staff at Bush. When they come out in the third quarter, you don't usually see too many changes that are apparent to the naked eye. They kind of have their specific bread and butter plays that they stick with. They don't usually do anything drastically different. And there goes Adrian Cormier on the first play, and he picks up 13. Weza Pereira, who is playing an instrument and marching in the band at halftime, makes the tackle, but that's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
Yeah, they ran the counter play. And I told you how Clements is playing pretty aggressively up front today. And so that's sometimes when you're playing aggressively, the counter can get you. And that's what happened there for the nice first down run.
See, that's an adjustment that I wouldn't notice. I'm glad you're here because I wouldn't know otherwise. On the next play, it is Cormier. He starts right, cuts back to the left, and only picks up a pair of yards. Tosan Okopi with a tackle, and will be second down and 8. Actually, second and 10. It was a no gain.
It's my pleasure, Roger. I mean, I love doing this. I just love being the color guy and being able to add a little insight to the broadcast.
Yeah, I have a hard time recognizing a counter play. Sometimes to me it looks like the back just didn't see daylight and he made a cut. But you see a counter play. Up the middle, Cormier again, bounces outside, good yardage.
Ball!
And the ball came out, and I think it rolled out of bounds.
Yeah, guess who made the hit? Patrick Smith.
Patrick
That's
Smith.
That's a good, very good guess, actually. Not a bad guess, my friend. But no, that was Patrick Smith. And I've said this several times, but that's the difference with this Clements team. Like, the big plays don't happen as much in the run game. because typically Patrick Smith is there in the hole and he makes the tackle. It doesn't allow a big play to happen.
He's one of those guys that, I mean, he's going to be exhausted after a game. I don't think he's going to want to go out and party after a game unless it's a special win like last week.
Yeah, I have a funny story about that after this.
Okay. 3rd down and 4. Donovan Nixon up the middle. He's fighting for the first down. He's got it inside the Ranger 40.
And not that I go to high school parties to see what these guys are doing, but it's funny. It was senior night tonight, and they brought out the players, and they read out what the players wrote as their favorite memory. And Patrick Smith, when he was out there, I heard the public address announcer say his favorite memory is hanging out at Whataburger with his friends after big wins. So, yeah, nothing too crazy. They just go to Whataburger, relive the game, and then they go home. So, yeah, you're right. I don't think he's a big partier or anything.
So it's not like Tim Riggins.
No, it's not Tim Riggins.
Friday Night Lights character,
Right.
for those of you who didn't watch the show.
Yes.
You should. And dropping back is Hilder, looking right, looking left, can't find anyone. Now he escapes and flings it down the field. A flag is thrown, probably offensive holding. Weza Pereira was bearing down on him, and so too was Alex Aguirre Acosta.
You know, and I talk of Coach Haddock quite a bit, the defensive coordinator at Clements, or at least, you know, when especially before games, I like to catch up with him. And he's a guy, he's a very good defensive coordinator. He's very big on like how getting shutouts. And we were kind of rehashing the game last week against George Ranch, and if the pick six would have stood, and if this would have happened, that would happen. He's like, man, we could have had a shutout, you know. And right now he's got the goose egg on the board. I'm not like, you know, baseball. Sometimes you talk about jinxes. Don't talk about the shutout. Don't talk about the no hitter. I don't believe in all that stuff, but he's got the shutout on the board. And I know Coach Haddock's going to protect that very fiercely. So you're going to see this Clemens defense continue to be aggressive and try to preserve that shutout. Maybe win this game 6-0.
And the down and distance is now 1st and 20. Hilder drops back, stands strong, throws deep, and it's incomplete. And Weza Pereira was there on the defensive play. He was trying to get it to Alan Aldridge III, and that was another one of those plays where at other levels of football it might have been face guarding or failing to turn around and make a play on the ball.
Yeah, Hilder's just been a little short. Like you're saying, like he's underthrowing a lot of these, so the balls, like the receiver having to come back for it, is what you're describing there. That's the one thing Bush to have some success. They're going to start hitting some of these downfield routes. Right now, their conversion percentage is pretty low, but you got to credit that to the Clements coverage.
I want Titan Channelac to do something big here tonight. I have an idea. 2nd down and 20 for Hilder and the Broncos. He takes the snap and hands it off straight up the middle.
Wow,
I think that's
beautiful.
Donovan Nixon, but it was great defense on the part of the Clements Rangers. They closed up all the holes, and it was Adrian Cormier.
Yeah, and that's the Rafai and McGinnis connection there. They saw the left guard pull, they made their pull call, and both of them moved in unison together to sandwich that ball carrier. And so that is the perfect way to play any kind of puller, you know. So very good technique right there from the two, a senior and a junior inside linebackers.
And it turned out to be only a gain of 1. So it's 3rd and 19. Will Clements bring a blitz? It doesn't look like they intend to at this point. Hilder drops back, has time, throws it near sideline, up in the air. Cooley in and out of his hands. Could have made the catch. It would have been a difficult one, kind of falling on his back. He had to twist, and it just squirted out as soon as his back hit the ground. If he was close to getting possession, it came out right away.
If you see Dina Scott, the athletic director, Roger, I know you talk of her quite a bit. Coach Darnell needs a pay raise because he's also doing ball boy tonight. I just saw Coach Darnell. Coach Darnell, first of all, he helped up the Bush player, and then he ran onto the track to go retrieve that football. So Coach Darnell is doing more than above duties as described, but he does it all. I mean, he's got great energy. I love watching Coach Darnell on the sidelines.
Devin Moore to punt for Bush, and 11 men along the line of scrimmage for Clements. Nobody back. It's a good snap, and Moore is going to roll to his right. He wants to run for it. He's got a long way to go, but the big man is tripped up. Matt McGinnis saved it. He would have made it. He would have made the first down. Devin Moore, I don't know how much he weighs. What does this roster say?
No, there's no
they
height
don't
and
give
weights,
but he's
Devin
he's
Moore
a big
was
fella.
moving.
He was moving. You know, he's the kind of guy, I think I said earlier in this game, he doesn't look the part of a punter.
Right.
He's a big run stuffer, you know, a nose guard with a big butt. And you just wouldn't think that he would pull the ball down and run, but he was moving. I was impressed.
Yeah, it just was too far, I think, to try that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, if McGinnis doesn't make that shoestring tackle, he could still be running.
Yeah. So it's 1st and 10 for the Clements Rangers. I guess this is their first possession of the second half, isn't it? That was a fairly long possession of the ball. Well, not so much. 3.5 minutes, I guess. Kasuma up the middle. Was that a counter play? I think it was, but it only went for 1 yard. And he was stoned by Bryce McDonald and several other Broncos, including Braylon James Green. Speaking of James Green, I say a shout out and a hi to my brother-in-law, James Green. He and his wife, Stacy, my wife's sister, are former Travis parents, empty nesters. Jack graduated in the class of 20 with my son, his cousin Wesley.
Congratulations to A&M getting a big win over Auburn today.
Yeah.
And it was
What was the final score?
It was 20-3.
Okay, it was 3-3 when I got out of my car. Gunnar Chenier throwing near the sideline, and it's picked. Oh, what a beautiful interception.
Oh, no.
It is. D'Antonio Hackworth makes the catch, and Marcus Darnell.
I hope
that's
it's a cramp.
why.
I think it's a cramp. That's what I was
okay.
saying. No, I saw it might be more. I don't know. Marcus Darnell is having trouble coming off the field. I'm hoping it's just a cramp.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, so Gunnar Chenier threw the down and out intended for Marcus Darnell, and Hackworth, that was just an amazing catch. I don't know. He must have Gorilla Glue all over his hands. Or what else would you have? Epoxy? Pine tar?
Whatever Garrett Cole has under the brim of his cap, I
guess. Yes, exactly. You ever notice when they kind of
he wasn't
tightened
quite
up
the pitcher after that, was he?
They tightened up the enforcement, and all of a sudden Garrett Cole wasn't getting everybody out.
Yeah, I did notice that, actually. I definitely noticed that.
All right, 48-yard line. Bush has it. See how this turnover energizes their offense. Hilder swings one out to Cormier, and he's upended, gains about 6 yards, and hitting him low and sending him head over heels. Bryce Matthews, 2nd and 4.
The biggest surprise for me is the lack of big plays from Bush. Even against Ridgepoint, they were busting off big plays, and Clements has really kind of muted them. So that was a big play on the defensive side, but there was a nice explosive play, and we'll see if that can change the momentum here for Bush.
And in the first half, they had about 4 deep passes where it was simply an overthrow. Now Jamon Cooley catches a hit screen on this side, breaking tackles inside the 30, and he stumbles. And what a break for Clements.
Wow.
There was one guy who might have had a shot at him, Tosan Okopi.
Yeah.
But I know that Cooley would have outrun him if he had not stumbled.
What I love about Tosan Okopi, he's a defensive end. What great effort from a defensive end to sprint down there and try to make that tackle.
Well, meanwhile, back near the line of scrimmage, we have a Bush lineman who's down. We'll take a break and return on VypeFortBend.com. 7 minutes left in the third. It's still 6-0 Clements.
First Iron Automotive heard you were thinking of starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $15 off oil changes, $100 off 4 tires, and save on just about any service. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max.
Taking care of business.
All right, the Bush player made it off the field. Hopefully he'll be all right. The ball at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10, Bush trying to tie the game or go ahead. Cormier running left, bouncing outside, hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss of 1. And the ball came out, I think. Did it?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, so the ball came out, and I think it was Ferris Rafai on the tackle.
No, Xander
Salazar. Okay.
They look very similar build. But, yeah, that's 38 there.
So It was just kind of a flurry of activity. It was kind of tackler spinning the ball carrier around. Then the ball came out, and everybody was scurrying for it. 2nd down and 9 for Bush as we hit the halfway point of the 3rd quarter. Pistol formation. A hint of a blitz. And there goes Cormier, hit at the line and gets a yard, if that. And who came through? Weza Pereira, the musician.
Man, I just got to say how impressed I am with the Clements defense. I mean, they are flying around. Coach has the safeties playing really downhill against the run. They're Andrew Bohovich and, of course, Patrick Smith. And, I mean, I love the scheme that Coach Haddock has going there. I mean, it's been extremely impressive tonight.
And the winner of this ball game will play Cinco Ranch next week. And I'm not sure where it would be, honestly. 3rd down and 9 for Bush.
Blitz and Smith again.
Here comes the blitz, and there's a throw way over the head of the intended receiver, Aaron Valentine, but flags fly in, and they're going to get Titan Chanelak. And what are you thinking, maybe not catchable?
Well, that's what Coach Darnell wants. They're saying not catchable, but to me, in my opinion, Chanelak was so egregiously holding. I think that needs to be flagged.
Yeah, and holding is not affected by whether it's catchable or not. That's only pass interference.
Especially if they can call that defensive holding. I don't know if they're going to call pass interference or not, but that, to me, that is the correct call. That's penalized. Yeah.
Okay, that's our referee, Derek Dickerson, and defensive holding is an automatic 1st down.
To me, it felt like Chanelak felt like he was beat, and so he held, which is smart. You'd rather get a 10-yard holding penalty than give up a walk-in touchdown.
Although the accuracy from Hilder has not been there tonight, and sometimes maybe just hope he'll overthrow it or something. 1st down and 10 from the 14. Hilder might be changing the play. Hands it off to Cormier, and he keeps it around the left side, and great pursuit. Salazar wraps him up, help arrives, and it's a loss of 1. Salazar looking good.
Yeah, Salazar's played a great game, and they also have, it looked to me like they're playing that kind of cover 1 look with Patrick Smith, doing his Kyle Tucker impersonation. He's in center field, just the speed is incredible. And he came down, he read that Hilder kept that football, and he was right there too in case Salazar couldn't make that play. Smith was there ready to clean it up as well.
And that was the first time this game, I think, that Hilder has faked the handoff and run around the end, but Salazar was still alert and made the play. 2nd and 11. Will Bush go back to the passing game? Hilder looks to the left sideline, fires it up, and it is tipped and incomplete. That pass was on target, kind of a back shoulder throw. Ended up incomplete.
I think that Coach Aldridge and his offensive coordinator, Coach Maple, I think they're going to challenge these receivers because that ball was catchable. Coverage was good, but it still hit the receiver in the hands. I thought it was a good ball by Hilder. At some point, quarterback, you need the receivers to step up and make some big plays. And I know these receivers are capable of doing that. So we'll see. The coverage has been tight, but I think that one could have been caught, Roger.
And that was D'Antonio Hackworth. They bring him in on big downs offensively as a receiver. And now they're looking in his direction again. The pass is high, tipped, and incomplete. But we're going to have a flag come in. It's probably going to be defensive pass interference against the Rangers.
I also think that's the correct call. Hackworth trying to run a quick slant. Defender's back lost his inside leverage there, and he did get, I could see a little bit of a grab.
And looking at the world through navy blue and Columbia blue glasses, Patrick Smith was kind of, I don't know if he was disappointed in the call or disappointed that his teammate had to use that tactic just to make sure it wasn't a TD. Here is Derek Dickerson. Okay, so that was not holding, it was pass interference. The ball is at the 11. Bush could make a first down without scoring. So it's not 1st and goal, it's 1st and 10 from the 11. Blitz look from the Rangers. Hilder trying to draw him off, hands it off to Cormier. Breaks the first tackle, keeps going, fighting toward the goal line. The scrum of people moving that way. and then the Rangers push him back. But that's going to be a first down at the 1, I do believe.
It's a little bit of live by the sword, die by the sword, right? So
yeah.
when you have that's another heavy blitz from Clements, it can lead to a tackle for loss, but if everything gets picked up correctly and one guy runs around a block, the seam will open up and it can lead to to where a running back's getting up to safety level quickly. That's exactly what happened there, but credit the Clements defense. They still pursued and they were able to keep Cormier out of the end zone there.
And by the way, they spotted the ball at the 2, not the 1 like I thought they would. And it's 2nd and 1 to go. It's not a goal-to-go situation. Give to Cormier up the middle, dives, and is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Bush. It is 6-6 with 3:25 to go in the third, and the extra point to come.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Clements defense has been pitching a shutout all game, playing phenomenal defense, but you just know the Bush offense is so good, it's going to be really hard to keep them off the board all night long. And so that was a really awesome drive by Bush. And here's the deal. Like we talked about, that extra point was missed earlier, so this is a pivotal extra point.
Aiden Yeldon comes on to kick it out of the hold of Aaron Valentine. Rangers going to do everything they can to block this kick. The kick is up, and it's no good. He missed it to the right. Yeldon missed it, just as Timothy Kroon missed it. No, wait a minute. Wasn't it?
Yes.
No, it was Lyle Link.
Oh, okay,
Lyle Link.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just knew it wasn't Allison Wong.
All right, so both of them have missed an extra point to the right, and with 3:25 to go in the third, we are still tied 6-6.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
I remember one year, Texas versus Oklahoma ended in a 6-6 tie. And a poor kid, a deep snapper for Oklahoma, bad snap on an extra point kick in the last 2 minutes. And here is Yeldon's kick. It can be returned, and it will be. It's Kasuma across the 20, has to hesitate a little bit, and he's hit near the 24 and pushed back. Isaac Bouye rushing down. Good hustle on the kickoff return. And the players are having a hard time untangling. There's a little bit of snarling and snapping going on.
Yeah, just got to separate them. But, I mean, this is a danger zone for Clements because, Bush – early on, when Bush got right down to the goal line, I was saying, Bush is the type of team that can overwhelm you with their talent. And so I thought, if you let them score early, you don't want to let them run away early. Well, Clements obviously weathered the storm early, but now after getting the score, you got to be careful that you don't get a quick 3-and-out here and give the Bush Broncos some momentum and let them really start rolling.
So here comes the Rangers offense. Wide receivers to the right, Patrick Smith and Marcus Darnell.
Emodi has done a nice job on Smith tonight. I was going to say, Smith doesn't really have any big catches.
Fake to Kasuma. Shanier's going to keep it, runs left, and only gets about a half a yard. That's it. He doesn't have a lot of quickness. His asset is not his running ability.
Yeah.
Cozy Okorafor made the tackle.
I don't really like the design nature of that run. That's not his strength. He's only a sophomore. He's still developing. I like him, still every now and then pulling the ball to keep a defense honest. But like I said, I think Clements has got to find a way to get Patrick Smith an opportunity to make a big play.
We haven't seen Clements throw the ball way down the field as much in the second half. And there's a handoff, and it's Morellis who gets tripped up in the backfield. Henry Tatum brings him down, kind of like a calf at the calf scramble at the rodeo that I hope we can have next year.
We saw this last week against Ridgepoint, where even in the second half, there were points when Bush started rolling, they were getting it going against Ridgepoint. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what it feels like right now. Just 2 quick stops. It's already a 3rd and long. The Bush defense, I think, is really starting to brim with confidence right now.
3rd and 9 for Clements, and the Bush defense would like to get off the field. An empty backfield for Chenier. In motion is Kasuma. They give it to him on the jet sweep. It's a trick play again. Kazimirvis throws it to Chenier, who makes the catch but falls down. 2 yards shy of the first down. He would have made it.
Yeah, they ran that.
Oh, my goodness.
The Philly special, right?
The Philly special.
That was the Philly special, right? So you run the reverse and you sneak the quarterback out up the sideline. And you called it perfectly, Roger. I mean, he tripped up as he caught it. And unfortunately for the Rangers, it's not like the NFL where you need to be down by contact. Once you're down, you're down.
They're going for it, Kovo. 4th and 2, pistol formation from their own 33. The faint heart never won a fair maiden, I guess. But I guess you'll probably believe that they're going to go for it when they don't punt it here. Only after the snap.
I think they should punt it, definitely.
Well, the play clock is at 2.
Yes.
Now they call a timeout, and maybe they're going to punt it right here. Okay, we'll step aside, take a break. It is 6-6, Clements and Bush with 1:12 to go in the third. This is a good way to spend a Saturday night on VypeFortBend.com.
Hi, this is Mariela and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Okay, out of the timeout, Clements does decide to punt. Timothy Kroon is on the field, and Kovo says look out for a possible return. They're going to fake it. Up the middle they go. Kasuma is hit. He's dropped for a loss of 3 or 4 yards, and Bush will take over inside the 30. Isaac Bouye made the tackle, and Brandon Chambers got a piece of it as well.
I don't like the call, and the only reason is, Roger, I feel like you got to lean on your defense right now. Your defense has played a masterful game. I like the Clements. They've gotten here because they've been aggressive and they believe in themselves. But the defense is playing so well. Now you're putting them in at the 30-yard line. It's gonna be a tough ask.
Okay, yeah, they have turned away Bush several times. 6-6 with 1:08 to go in the third, and they're running Cormier to the right, trying to get out of the backfield, reversing his field to the left. He's backtracking even more, and what a big loss! Dropped at the 39-yard line. That's a 9-yard loss, and you could give a lot of people credit on that play.
Yeah.
But finally finishing it off was Gaia Tim.
I'd decline it, right? Because you might get another yard.
Would you
rather have 2nd and 19 or 1st and 20, right? And the guy that we need to credit, number 33, Weza Pereira. Weza Pereira was the guy that held the edge there as the running back was trying to gain the edge, and he's the one that got held. And so the combination, again, I haven't watched a lot of Clements, but we say the name Ferris Rafai and Patrick Smith and Andrew Bohovich, but the Salazar Pereira connection at the outside backers, very unsung heroes, very, very good. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Actually, they put it as a 10-yard loss, so it's 2nd down and 20. As we thought they would, the Rangers declined the penalty. Now they're showing blitz again. Hilder drops back, has time, now moves to the left, looking downfield, throws late, incomplete, and here comes the flag. And the pass interference call near the 20-yard line is going to bail out Bush, and they will have a new set of downs.
I think Patrick Smith almost thought that perhaps the receiver had caught the ball because he did kind of tackle him, and so that's Patrick Smith got caught there.
And Hackworth was the intended receiver. Got to be a little nervous Nelly time here on the Clements side of the stadium.
I think the biggest thing, Clements needs to figure out they need to figure out offensively how to beat this man coverage. Like the Marcus Darnell play earlier for the big touchdown. They need to continue to run those rub routes and get Chenier a clean pocket to make those throws.
27 seconds to go in the third. 1st and 10 Bush from the 25 of Clements. Pistol formation. Hilder hands it to Cormier, straight up the middle. 2 yards and that's it. Ferris Rafai pushed him back.
Yeah, and I think, defensively, and this is my last play of the quarter, Roger, we're getting down to 15 seconds, but defensively, I don't think you can ask much more out of the Clements defense, so I think I think what Coach Darnell is going to look to, and Coach Ruthard, is how do we try to find a way to get a good rub route, get somebody open, and have Chenier deliver a strike for a big play.
The final 12 minutes of this drama will be coming your way when we return after this break. 6-6 after 3 quarters. Clements and Bush. This is VypeFortBend.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
We open the fourth quarter. 2nd down and 8 for Bush. There goes Cormier running to the right. Good blocking, trying to get to the edge. Near the sideline, he's got a 1st down, and Patrick Smith shoves him out. It's a pickup of 9 and a 1st down. It moves the sticks. That's a 1st down. Think of First Tire and Automotive. For all your car care needs, check them out at firsttireandauto.com. And Kovo Patrick Smith is coming off.
Uh-oh, that ain't good. And I think that might have been number 60, Devin Moore, who we saw in the big fake punt. I think he's playing. They brought him in as like tight end, and he made a great block there on Weza Pereira to help secure the edge. And yeah, I was in there. Yeah, I guess he's in there as like a right. Is that right tackle?
I think so.
Yeah.
Jack Zhang came in for Patrick Smith. Give to Cormier, hit in the backfield. Big thrown for a loss. Ferris Rafai does it again. And that's going to be a loss of about 10, it looks like. Actually, they spot the ball where Rafai first made contact with Cormier, but that's a huge play, and it sets up a 2nd down and 15.
Yeah, that was the big thing that kind of got me choked up last week, was just seeing Coach Darnell coaching Ferris Rafai so hard and just seeing him absorbing it. So many times, unfortunately, you see kids pout or take their helmet off or go off to the side when a coach coaches them hard. And like I said, that was really cool to see. And I don't know, we're in a dogfight right now. Both teams playing very well. Both coaching staffs doing an awesome job. It's been a lot of fun.
Patrick Smith is back on the field for Clements on 2nd and 15 for Bush. Hilder throws far sideline, ball up in the air. Hackworth didn't complete the catch. He had it at first, but then he was blasted and the ball came out. And I believe that is Bryce Matthews who made the biggest hit, maybe brought a fist up from underneath and knocked the ball out. That could prove to be a huge play.
I thought that was a touchdown. I was just about to say, Roger, I said that the receivers would eventually step up and make a big play, and here it is, and the ball came out.
Clements has enough players this year to do substitutions, and they brought in Onyekachi Ajero. That's the first time I have called his name this season. Onyekachi Ajero. 3rd and 15. This is a huge play. And by the way, the Broncos are kind of on the bubble as far as field goal range. Hilder drops back. Stands strong, throws over the middle, fought for the end zone, intercepted. It's Patrick Smith, brings it out to the 20-yard line, comes back to the middle, still going, and he gets it out to the 35, the 40, finally brought down at the 42.
Oh my God!
Oh, Patrick Smith, what a player!
No, well, Patrick Smith, what a player, but really, to me, Gaia Tim, what a player. I was watching that whole thing, Roger. They tried to run kind of a skinny post route, and I saw Gaia Tim just took a beautiful 45-degree angle drop, sprinting as hard as he could to get underneath that. It was picture perfect. Like, oh my God, what a great drop by Gaia Tim. Sure enough, he gets the deflection. I think it was Gaia Tim that knocked that into the air, and I just watched Gaia Tim ran up and jumped into the arms of Todd Francis, defensive assistant coach. He's brought out the turnover chain, I guess, to present to Patrick Smith, but Coach Francis and Gaia Tim celebrating a beautiful play by the senior outside linebacker.
Maybe they'll go out of the Tom Landry playbook and go deep on the first play, but no, it's a handoff up the middle. Dimas Kasuma running hard, gets it to the 49-yard line, and that's a pickup of 8.
And I'll
second down and 2.
I'll say this, Roger. I've said before, my good friend Derek Ruthard is the offensive coordinator. I know Coach Darnell is also heavily involved in the offense. Like, my inkling right now is to go to throwing it more, but that's why those guys are still coaching, and I'm up here with you. That's why they're way better coaches than I am, because I love how they're still committing to the run. And I think Coach Ruthard's done a really masterful job of continuing to lean on that run game, even if it does lose yardage sometimes, and that's going to pay off. So just great balance from the Clements coaching staff.
Pistol formation, and they feed Kasuma again, running hard, gets inside the 40-yard line. That'll be another first down for the Rangers, as the tackle was made by Chandler Davis, but it moves the sticks. That's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
And besides the schematic thing, it's an attitude thing. Coach Darnell believes in conditioning, and I know he wants to run the football in the fourth quarter and kind of try to steal the will of the opponent.
Again out of the pistol. There goes Kasuma again. Bounce into the outside. Almost lost his balance. Picked up 3. They hit him hard, and I think the ball came out at the end. And now there's kind of a fracas and flags fly near the far sideline. We don't really know what it'll be for.
I saw the whole thing, Roger.
Okay, tell me.
It was number 11, Joey Mongonia. I know his mom listens. That's what I was laughing about was Mongonia threw an awesome block. He drove his defender all the way into the sideline. I was like, wow, they're getting after it. Good football. After Mongonia made the block into the sideline, I think one of the Bush players kind of like maybe shoved back or something. I think it's going to be a penalty on Bush. But precipitated everything, if that's even a word. Precipitated everything was Mongonia, just with excellent effort on his blocking. That's what started the whole thing. So hats off to Joey Mongonia. Great effort on the block out there.
All 6'5" of him. And here is Derek Dickerson, our referee, with the word. What's the word?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I disagree with that. Unless they're going to say, like in the movie The Blind Side where they throw the penalty on Michael Orr for excessive blocking.
Yeah.
I mean, Mongonia did drive a guy like all the way into the sideline. So maybe, and that's what Coach Darnell wants an explanation, because to me, Mongonia did not commit any kind of penalty. Unless you want to say excessive roughness or something like that. You know what I mean? Because he kept driving the guy like into the sideline, but it was not like any kind of sheep shot or anything like that. I thought they were going to get the Bush guys kind of were upset about that and kind of shoved, hey, get out of here, get back on the field kind of thing. And I thought it was, they were going to flag that. But to me, I think you should just let that go.
Yeah.
On both sides. The Bush guys they didn't do anything crazy. They were saying, hey, get out of here, because they were upset their buddy got driven into the sideline. But Mongonia was just blocking hard. To me, that's a no call. It's just good football everywhere, so they should let it go.
And, of course, it's right there in front of the Bush bench. There's a lot of people suggesting to the official what the call should be.
So Clements has man-to-man coverage. You see they're looking to the sideline for this call, so you might get a pick route here.
After the penalty, it's a 2nd and 22. Blitz look from Bush. Up the middle goes J.R. Morellis, and he can't get through the wave. Is there a late flag there or just a piece of equipment being thrown?
I don't think I see one.
So J.R. Morellis carries for just a couple of yards. It's 3rd and 19 to go.
Yeah, you pointed out how the Clements...
correction, did I say it is 3rd? Sorry, go ahead.
You mentioned the Clements coaches have 4 different coaches sending in signs, so that we've talked all about the sign stealing scandal in MLB. It's also the high school football people try to steal signs.
But it's not against rules. Fake to Morellis, throw to Patrick Smith. Trying to get out into space, but he can't. Bush reacts very well. Cozy Okorafor makes an ankle tackle. No gain, and it's 4th and still 19, so the Rangers will certainly punt it here.
It's my personal opinion, I think throwing short passes against Bush, it's difficult to be successful because they just rally so fast. I think their best bet is like what they scored with Darnell. Like pick routes that are going down the field, I think might be their best option, but credit to the Bush defense. I talked a lot about the Clements defense. The Bush defense has been shut down as well.
Timothy Kroon punts it away. Hackworth makes the catch, goes up the middle between the hash marks, and Kazimurfis wrestles him down, and he gets the return out to the 27. That's a pretty nice return of 13 yards.
That's one thing I love about the Bush defense, Roger, and I love how for many years, they've kind of played this cover one, aggressive, in-your-face, man-to-man scheme. And I love that because, to me, as a defensive player, it shows my coaches believe in me. You know, they believe I can play man coverage, and we can get after people. We can play aggressively. So I think it sets kind of like a tone and mentality on defense. And so in 2021, you don't see a lot of 6-6 scores, but we got one tonight.
We sure do, and the loser of this game has to play Katy in round one. The winner gets to play Cinco Ranch. So you just got to get a win here. Cormier straight off of right guard, and he's pushed back. Ferris, Rafai, and company. McGinnis was in the middle of it. And there's one other guy. I got to give credit where it's due. I think it's 55. Yeah, it's 55. Alex Aguirre Acosta, AAA. Second and 10, and the clock says 7:22. Now it doesn't because it's still ticking. Nervous Nelly time. We just ran out of things to say for a moment. Okay, here we go. Second down and 10, a little swing pass, and it's Cormier trying to get out of the backfield. He does. Gets across the 30 to the 35, the 37. I think he's got a first down. That was all Adrian Cormier. Great moves in space.
Yeah.
There are a lot of navy blue jerseys flying around, but they did mark him short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
That was AAA there. He did a great job sniffing out the swing pass, but it's just tough for a defensive end matched up one-on-one of a running back, and so Cormier able to make a miss and fight forward for that nice gain to make it a 3rd and short.
Bush taking its time. Clock running. We're now at 6:30 to go in regulation time. Referee Derek Dickerson winds the clock.
Is it really the fourth quarter, Roger? This game feels like it's flown by.
It's 8:06 p.m., but, if you consider the fact that we're going to set our clocks back, it's only 7:06 p.m.
Great point.
It's a great night. Get an extra hour of sleep. 3rd and 1. Cormier up the middle. Look out! He's got the first down and more. 50. He's going to go all the way. Adrian Cormier breaks the tie. It makes it 12-6 if there are no flags, and I don't see any. With exactly 6 minutes to go, the Bush Broncos have taken the lead, stunning this Clements crowd.
Great job by the Bush coaching staff to just keep pounding the rock. I've talked about Clements doing a little bit of live by the sword, die by the sword. They sent a double inside backer blitz, so they set Rafai and McGinnis on the blitz, and everything got picked up, so Cormier got one-on-one of Patrick Smith very quickly, and that was the one time Patrick Smith unable to make the tough open field tackle, and Cormier took it to the house. So I really like the strategy by Bush to just continue to keep the ball on the ground, and they've tried to get it going through the air, just haven't been successful, but they just kind of, even though they've been thwarted many a times at the line of scrimmage by that aggressive Clements D, I think they knew if we just keep coming into the line of scrimmage, one of these times we're going to pop it because they're playing pretty aggressively.
It looks like Bush is going to go for 2, but before they do, they're going to talk it over. That Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive covered 73 yards. It took 3 plays, and it took 1 minute and 47 seconds off the clock. And we'll be back with the 2-point try after this.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
They have changed their mind. It's not a 2-point play. It is Aiden Yeldon coming on to kick the extra point and try to make it 13-6 Bush. Valentine to hold. The kick is in the air. The kick is good. It is 13-6 Bush. 6 minutes to go. Clements has to find the end zone. We'll be right back.
You work hard, so you deserve the good things in life, like getting an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Get the fast and reliable internet you deserve for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for the first time ever, ask how to get 12 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile. Just imagine, faster downloads, more streaming, the possibilities are endless. That's more speed and you'll save hundreds over AT&T. Oh yeah, and for a limited time, ask how to get $300 back. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now, because you deserve awesome internet. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 11/21/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect Internet 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Compares monthly service charge for Xfinity 600 megabits per second to AT&T 500 megabits per second, each with one unlimited mobile line per year as of 10/6/21. Reduced speeds up to 20 gigabytes of mobile usage.
Okay, Kovo, let's look at it this way. Suppose the Rangers score. I guess it would depend how much time is left, but would you go for 2 when you score? Or do you kick to tie it? We can decide later. Kasuma from the 13-yard line, straight up the middle, reverses his field, cuts back near the 25. Extra effort gets him to the 25, and then down at the 26.
To me, it all depends on my confidence in your extra point kicker. I mean, these guys have been able to watch all through practice, and they'll know. You know, but if I have any hesitation for whatever reason that we're just going to miss the extra point, like the first one was missed, I would go for it, personally.
Well, I would say I saw Lyle Link make a ton of extra points early in the season, in the first half of the season. More recently, Allison, I believe the way to pronounce it is Wong.
Oh, pronounced wrong.
Okay. And by the way, I've been saying it wrong.
I was saying
lots
Wong,
of times.
and then I looked at the roster and wasn't sure if I was doing it wrong, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, until this week, she was doing most of the kicking. And there's a run up the middle, and it's Kasuma who picks up a first down on an 11-yard run.
She's ready, though. I was watching Allison. She still has her kicking block, like she's using the next point. She has it in her right hand as she watches. She's ready at any moment when she's called upon. And I love that about her. And she's involved, and she's cheering on her team. So it's so impressive in the senior.
I was wrong. It wasn't an 11-yard gain. It was 9.5, and there is a loss of 1. So the Rangers still don't have the first down to start this drive.
That's what I like. I'm so impressed, and I compliment Bush on so much, is their ability to make those tackles for a loss. They do such a good job disrupting and getting penetration and making those. It seems like almost every time after you get a 9-yard gain, the next play will be a tackle for a loss. It's the way that they rebound so quickly.
Third down, and officially it's 1. It looked like Chenier dropped the ball, and then he burrowed forward, and I think he's got the first down in spite of a near disaster. And the clock stops momentarily at 4:48 to go. Yeah, they got it. It's just a matter of time before Derek Dickerson, our referee, tells the chain gang to move on down the sideline. No, I think they're going to measure it. I don't think they need to.
Clements is lucky. They fumbled that snap. Really fortunate to get back on it.
By the way, let's just give you the plan for our broadcast next week. Monday night from the Katie Merrill Center, 6:45 p.m., Ridgepoint and Tompkins, third round volleyball playoff. And here's the stretch of the chain. It is a first down, Rangers at their own 36.
Now this game, to me, this is like a playoff game, because and this is not a slight on Cinco Ranch. Coach Dudley is an awesome guy, and they had a great season. But the difference between playing Cinco Ranch and Katy is a huge difference. And I think either of these teams, they can win a game against Cinco Ranch. It'd be a very, very competitive. All three of those teams are very good. But against Katy, it's really tough. So this is so important. This is everything in this game.
Fresh set of downs for the Rangers. Kasuma in the pistol. They give it to him. He tries to go straight up the middle. There's a lot of heavy traffic. He doesn't get very far. A yard. That's it. Second down and 9. A little pushing and shoving after the play, but.
Yeah, great block there by number 66, the sophomore, Zach Yuan. he was the one. He kept walking to like the echo of the whistle, so to speak.
And by the way, I'm not picking on Bush, but sometimes defensive players get very upset when you notice that they are a long way from the line of scrimmage. Someone has pushed them way down the field or way away from the ball. 2nd down and 9, and the clock keeps ticking. 4:05 to go. Chenier, spread formation, 3 receivers on the right. Looks like he wants to go to the air. Here comes the blitz. He lets it go. He's hit as he throws. Patrick Smith makes the catch! He makes the catch! He out-leaped the defender, and he's got it at the 43. Oh, what a play by Patrick Smith. Awareness of where the ball was. Amazing.
That one is a better candidate for You Got Moss, because he did go up and get that one.
It's just a gain of 15 yards, but it sure seemed bigger than that.
Chenier took a big hit.
Oh,
Great
man.
job by Chenier to deliver that football.
Yeah, and he's just fine. Looks like he's ready to go. Pistol formation, 1st and 10. There goes Kasuma, breaks one tackle, keeps going. Upended near the 35. That's a gain of 7. And the
What a ball
Rangers
game.
pick up the pace. Looks like they want to snap it again in about 3 seconds from now. We're under 3 minutes to go, or 3.5 minutes to go, rather. Fake to Kasuma. Chenier has it, running right, gets inside the 30, still going, fights all the way to the 25, and that's a 1st down on a pickup of 10 by the sophomore quarterback, who's not the greatest runner in the world, but that was a perfect play call.
Yeah, Bush is sending, just like Clemens has been doing, they sent an all-out blitz, so there was no one there on the quarterback.
They'll go out of the pistol again as they snap it. Just over 3 minutes to go. Kasuma try in the middle, gets 1 yard, that's it. Pushed back by Pete Hernandez Perez.
You know what I'd love to see, Roger, is like a mesh route, like a crossing route, because what's happening is Bush is blitzing those inside backers every time. The middle of the field's wide open. So I think a little crossing route where the linebackers are blitzing from could come wide open.
2nd down and 9 for the Rangers. They're down by 7. It's 13-6.
They're looking to the sidelines for the coaches. You got the safety in the middle of the field, but he's up pretty tight. I think if you go deep on the outside, there's no way the safety can get there.
Patrick Smith is one-on-one with Amodia on the far side near the numbers. But there goes Kasuma trying to run up the middle and can't get anything. It's going to be 3rd and 9. And who got him first? Getting up off the bottom? That's Bryce McDonald. In fact, it was a loss of 1. It's 3rd and 10. A field goal does the Rangers no good, and we're under 2 minutes now. They still have 2 timeouts, but they want to keep them in their pocket. They really need to hurry up a little bit here.
Maybe they feel this is their last drive and they don't want to leave Bush any time to score, perhaps.
Good point. And it is the throw to Kasuma near the sideline, off his hands, incomplete, and Bryce McDonald was going to drop him immediately had he made the catch. 1:40 to go. Clock stopped with the incomplete pass, and the Rangers face a 4th and 10 right here.
Yeah, I don't like the long passes out into the flat against Bush like I talked about earlier. Like, it gives them so much time to rally and recover. I think your best success against Bush is moving the ball down the field. And I think they're going to have to do that here, obviously, on a 4th and 10.
And Bush also needs to be careful. Don't commit the kind of penalty that will bail out the Rangers. A timeout is taken, and Mr. Dickerson doesn't point one way or the other. But wait a minute. He was signaling timeout. Now he's tapping himself on the sternum and saying, my timeout. So I wonder what this is for.
Please put the play clock at 25 seconds to start on my whistle.
Okay, well, it's on 25 right now.
Yeah.
All right. Rangers got to have it right here. Need to get to the 15-yard line. Gunnar Chenier looking back at the sideline for a moment. Kasuma in motion. He drops back. He lets it go. Patrick Smith in the end zone. And it's incomplete. And no flag. Hackworth was pulling on his jersey. There's no flag. And the Clements faithful are just furious. When you see a handful of jersey, well, no call. Ball falls incomplete. Ball goes over with 1:35 to go.
I thought that should have been called pass interference. I think there was a lot of jostling going on. It's not too dissimilar from some of the calls that have been called on Clements earlier in the game, but I think the official missed it, and maybe he was a little bit out of position where just where he was at, he couldn't see. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Patrick Smith's body was shielding that contact happening there, but I think that could have been called pass interference.
Well, Clements has 2 timeouts here. 1:35 to go. Direct snap to Cormier. He's going to run it. He pops through and gets 6, and the Rangers need to call timeout right now. They do. That play only took 5 seconds. They give Cormier 5 yards, and it's 2nd and 5.
They gotta. I think if you're Clements here, you gotta hope to pop that ball out somehow.
Yeah. So all the jubilation of last week when the Rangers beat George Ranch to get into the playoffs, it could be quite the opposite when they realize what they would be up against if they cannot find a way to get into the end zone and tie it up. Bush leads 13-6.
Well, here's the cool thing, though. I mean, if you know, ESPN does the win percentage predictor.
Yeah.
It's very low for Clements right now. If we had that, the cool thing was if Clements does end up playing Katy, and we talked about that magical 07 season of Derek Carr, that was the last team they played was Katy at Rice Stadium. So history has a funny way of repeating itself that the Rangers and the Tigers can meet again, and that's going to be a great. Even I know they'd rather play Cinco Ranch, but that'd be a great memory for these kids to be able to strap it on against the Katy Tigers.
Okay. 2nd down and 5. Bush lines up straight to Cormier. He's hit early. It's very short gain, if any. 1 yard, perhaps 2. Timeout Rangers. 1:24 to go.
Now looking to the other side for Bush, assuming if they can salt this away. Now it's not over, right? I mean, Clements used the last timeout. There's still a minute 24 seconds, so Clements will get the ball back, assuming they can get a stop here. If you're Bush, I mean, if you can be Cinco Ranch, you're playing Spring Branch HISD matchup in round 2. Very well. You can get yourself into round 3. So, you know, this is a very big win for them if they can pull it off.
We'll take a quick break.
Hi, this is Mariela and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
We will make up that commercial to our friends at Nick's Italian Restaurant because we got to get back to it right now. 3rd down and 4. Bush, if they convert, will have this game salted away. They continue to go out of the Wildcat with Cormier taking the direct snap, running to the right, trying to get through the traffic. He's hit, and the Rangers have stopped him. No gain, and it's 4th and 4, and the clock will tick on down, and we presume Bush will punt it.
That was a literal all-out blitz. I even saw like the corners were blitzing off the edge because it's smart. Because if you give up a touchdown, oh well, right? There's no, you have to get this stop. So I thought it was a good job by Coach Darnell, Coach Haddock, everybody, just to let the players know that we have to make this stop. It's if we don't and they score a touchdown, so be it. We have stopping them here is the only chance to win the game.
All right, so if Bush wants to let it tick all the way down till the play clock is exhausted, there will be about 35 seconds left. It's now at 42, and Bush is just going to stand on the sideline. They might even, well, wait a minute, timeout is called. I guess it's by Bush. Why would they? Okay, I guess the play clock already went down to 37. Down to okay. Yeah. I guess time got away from me.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess rather than taking the 5-yard penalty, they just took the timeout there. No, but like I'm saying, there is a fairly favorable pathway to get to the 3rd round. I mean, it's not going to be easy in round 2 or round 1, of course, but at least you're not going to run into a juggernaut if you go the Cinco route, like in the first 2 rounds. You know what I mean? It's not like playing Katy, like the loser of this game will have to do.
All right. For the Rangers, the fans are praying right now that it's Patrick Smith time. He goes back to about his 40-yard line, and Devin Moore is going to punt it away for Bush. The Rangers could also hope for a bad snap. Here we go. There's the snap. It's a good one. Moore gets it away. Patrick Smith is calling a fair catch, and he makes it at his own 41-yard line. So the Rangers have 31 and a half seconds to go. No timeouts, and they've got to have a touchdown.
Well, it's going to start with your protection. First thing you got to do is keep Gunnar Chenier upright. So you need your O-line. If you have keeping backs in there to protect, they've got to just protect and give him a chance to deliver a ball down the field.
All right, speaking of upright, you and I are both standing.
Yeah, what a great game.
A lot of people in the stands are, but more of them should be. I mean, this is big. And this is one of those times I put my hand on the microphone because I might have to get really loud, and if I do, I got to pull it away a little bit. All right, Rangers got to pull off a miracle. They are 59 yards away from a possible tying touchdown. Chenier takes the snap, rolls to his right, looking down the field, near the sideline, throws late and incomplete, a little bit wide. He was trying to get it to Mongonia. It's incomplete. 26 and 2/10 seconds remaining.
And now the unfortunate thing for Clements all game long, they've been getting that kind of man-to-man coverage. Well, now they're playing man underneath with 2 deep safeties. So you're probably not going to have somebody running just completely wide open down the field. It's going to have to be a tight throw.
Yeah. Now, if you have a trick play in your bag, maybe a little comeback route where you flip it to a guy who is looping around behind the first receiver, that might work. Snap to Chenier, drops back, throws, and it's intercepted. It is Amodia for Bush. He's going down the near sideline. He's trying to get a pick six. He won't. Chenier knocked him out, but that's going to end the hopes for the Rangers of getting Cinco Ranch in round 1.
Yeah, and you can see the
Paul Amodia comes through with the big play, and that ends the hopes for the Rangers.
I love that Amodia was a good sport. He kind of came up to you last week and was giving you a hard time about our call whenever Sessions made the catch on him. But, man, Amodia definitely rose to the occasion. I've been so impressed with him today. Coverage has been great coming up and tackling, and Paul Amodia steps up and makes the biggest play of the game to salt away this victory for his Bush Broncos. And I'm really proud and happy for the Bush Broncos. They came with it tonight. They came back from down 6-0 for the most of the game, and they earned it.
They really did. And now they go into victory formation. Tyler Hiller will take a direct snap, not a spread formation snap. Takes the knee one time, and that's all he's going to have to do. So, to everyone in Fort Bend ISD who's qualified for the playoffs, the Ridge Point Panthers, the Travis Tigers, the Bush Broncos, the Clements Rangers, the Hightower Hurricanes. Good luck as we move into the postseason. Anything you want to say before we say goodnight, James?
No, just great job by both teams. I mean, Clements been a great story, but also the Bush Broncos, man. I know we've been so focused on Clements because they've made the history, but you got to talk about Bush. This is a team that was picked 6th place in the district, in most of the preseason rankings, and they have done nothing but prove the experts wrong. So happy for Coach Aldridge, all the players, and I am excited for them and their matchup with Cinco Ranch next week.
All right, so for James Kovaleski, our wonderful producer, Rosie Bega, Merle Bertrand, Suna Venkat, the entire Vype team, we thank you so much for being with us on this Saturday night. It turned out to be a very exciting game, high drama, and the final score, Bush 13 and Clements 6. Good night, everybody, from Hall Stadium, and we will talk to you on Monday night for volleyball when it'll be the Ridge Point Panther girls taking on the Tompkins Falcons, and then our games next week on Thursday. It's Ridge Point against Seven Lakes. We will come to you with the countdown to kickoff show at 6:45, and then on Friday, it's the Marshall Buffs taking on Barbers Hill right here at Hall Stadium. Again, the countdown to kickoff at 6:45. Roger Smith and James Kovaleski saying good night from Missouri City, Texas. Don't forget to set your clocks back. Good night, everybody.